Hello, hello, I'm back. And yes, with more Lost Saga tier list. One, I've been thinking about it a lot lately, and two, I don't know, I wasn't super confident in the JRPG I bought the other day. I might test run it a bit off stream and see if the gameplay's a little interesting. With Etrian Odyssey, you already know I'm an Etrian Odyssey super fan, but that doesn't mean that every DRPG is gonna hit the same. So, maybe you'll see that next week, maybe not. Hello, Box of Octopus. Hello, Yomu. Alright, Lost Saga tier list time. I do have a couple of other MMO OSTs lined up, specifically the Ragnarok Online OST, since we've been hearing the same Lost Saga songs this whole time. I have the playlist on shuffle right now, so without further ado, let's go ahead and show off where we left off last time. Hello? Do you want to show on screen? There we go. Here's where we left off last time. So, the next character up is going to be Zhao Yun, which, if you played this game in the We Made era, like 2013, 2014 era, you maybe already know where this guy's going to go. Kinda, maybe. We'll see. Maybe I'll feel different after trying him out for the first time in like 20 years. It is currently Lost Saga Origin Anniversary, so expect some nonsense lags happening. Okay, interesting. Just finished a God Run in Isaac, sub-minute mega stand kill. Holy shit, that's insane. Either way, this is where we left off on last time. V-Mechanic and King Arthur were the last two. V-Mech, I don't know why I've been thinking about V-Mech more and more lately. What a badass character. Alright, without further ado, let's begin. Next character up on the list, which number we're on, I'm sorry, the website doesn't keep track of the number, so I'm not keeping track of it either, but we are on Zhao Yun. Another melee character. Here's the male portrait, here's the female portrait. I had forgotten what the femme portrait looked like. Interesting that they have her wielding the trinket and not the actual weapon. The actual weapon's the spear. My current mood is promotional image of Lu Bu from Dynasty Warriors drinking Pepsi right now. I don't think I've seen that. If you want to link that to me at some point, please do. Without further ado, though, let me go ahead and show off Zhao Yun. Gotta go to general. Ooh, Matrix theme. Matrix, man. I never know what the guy is saying in the background. There's gonna be lyrics any minute now. Quote-unquote lyrics. It's just a guy talking. Like now. I don't know what he's saying. Either way, Zhao Yun, here's the character in-game. The male armor, anyway. So, in this server, I think in the North American Lost Saga server as well, Femme was actually gated off by paid currency. In this one, you can get it for clovers, but like an obscene amount of them, like 1,000. That would take months of saving up and having an entirely full friends list. 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. I could never parse what he was actually saying. Alright, here's the taunt. As you can probably guess, melee character. Not much of a magic caster, I would assume. As he's a melee character, we do have a run right off the bat. He does feel pretty sluggish, so probably not one that scales with movement speed very well. Let's see how this goes. Your weapon is a spear. We've had a couple spear users so far. You know, Shinji Fisheye Lens flashback to Tau Warrior, one of the only two in the meta slave category right now. Spear's pretty cool. So, I don't know anything about Dynasty Warriors. If any of this ever looks familiar to you, let me know, Yomu. I know Dynasty Warriors is based on what? The Romance of the Three Kingdoms? I know even less about that. Well, if you count playing like half of Koihime Musou as knowing anything about the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, I wouldn't. Anyway, moving along. Timed block, which makes sense. No double jump, no super jump or anything. I believe 4-hit basics, 4th hit feints? No, 4th hit half feints. Interesting. Okay. Kind of a nice animation, actually. I wonder if that 4th hit has, like, some good range on it. It keeps, like, auto-correcting me, but I wonder if that would hit if I wasn't facing Dev K. What if we do, like, 1, 2, 3, 4? Maybe not. Zhao Yun, interesting enough, is still powerful on the right hands, mainly because you never get the deflect / parry on their hold D. I remember now, so we'll immediately go into the hold D. So that's really fast. It immediately gives you a new string. If you just press hold D, it just goes into that one hit. But pressing attack afterwards gives you what? Is that a 6 or a 7 hit extra string? That's a 6 hitter. And it can be incredibly fast, as you can see there. He's kind of known for that. How's the jump attack? Oh, wait. Does that jump attack hit grounded? Do we have a hold D dasher? We do. It does not hit. It looks like it should hit grounded. It's a half feinter, though, so I wonder if I could do this. The end lag on the 4th hit is too long, but if I could jump cancel into the jump attack, that'd be quite nice. I wonder if I land 2 of these in a row. Is that a full feint? You can dash after hold D. Ah, you can dash input in the middle of any part of the hold D. Okay, so if I wanted to, I could be super annoying. Because what if I only go for 1 and then I roll? You can even roll forwards. For some reason, some characters can't roll forwards when they can roll cancel. Interesting. Let's see. Any jump cancels? This is important. I imagine the evolution. This is another character that adds an evolution. We had it on the NA server, but I didn't have a Zhao Yun, so I never actually really got to experience the evolution. Oh my god, where's the Grim Reaper? Hang on. The Crusade music just started playing. Getting some crazy flashbacks right now. Let me reset DevK. So, can I roll after any attack? No, it's only during the hold D, but that's still a lot of pressure. So we could do like 3 hit of the basics. And it looks like if you hit more than like 1 or 2 hits, it lifts up, and the next couple of hits are kind of guaranteed. That's some crazy pressure. I could summon the robot buddies, but I think it's fine. Evo grants a gauge that lifts ground opponents up, allowing chain D holds. You're telling me I could do this, and then this, and then this over and over again? Probably even faster and stronger with the evolution? Damn. Can I... sorry. My entire keyboard is hero keys, which wouldn't do anything normally there, but since I'm in training mode, it keeps kicking me out. I think there's too much delay after the jump hit. Oh, it actually doesn't fully feint. It just knocks down. That's kind of boring. How are the dash attacks? The first hit of his dasher is a roll? Really? I'm hitting the attack key. And then it goes into a launcher. And I'm assuming his basic string will pick up off of that launcher. Yep. And I could probably even go into a hold D. So, a little tricky timing. Again, I didn't play this character. Bit of lag there, sorry. I was told that lag is to be expected. Oh my god, wait, can you? 2, 3, 4. Try for multiple air attacks and a hold D. You mean, hang on, I think I know what you mean. Let's reset DevK here. It's a little sluggish, because I know if I get 2 of these fast enough, then he falls down. But I don't think I could immediately go into a hold D. Yeah, it's kind of tricky. What I really want to do is this. I want to go into... I want to see if I can land the hold D after launching. Yeah. Okay, that's pretty strong. And you can immediately go into the launcher. You don't have to do the roll, by the way. I think that's it for attacks, unless I'm missing anything. So we'll go on to skills now. Skills from left to right. Slash is pretty good. Oh, no, like, jump plus D, D into hold D. Oh! Huh. Hang on, I'm trying to go into a hold D. It's a little awkward. I'm try to go into a hold D directly after that. How long do I have to actuate this keyboard key for this to work? Hang on, you can actually kind of, like, carry them for a while. Okay, you gotta wait for that attack to come out. Maybe that's it. I kind of see it, so your jump attack leaves them half fainted, then your next basic swing will knock them down, right? Right? But then if you immediately go into the hold D, you can actually get that. There's a weird delay. All right, the jump attack doesn't quite feel too good for me. Hang on, I'm sick with it. Interesting. Combined with the Evo that picks up grounded enemy, you can see the combo. Yeah. Kind of scary, because with how long this lasts, like, again, this is as long as you can hold block for if you don't have an infinite block character. Now, I remember this guy being a menace just for his helmet, which, let's go ahead and go on to the skills now. He might have a counter attack. If he does, maybe we'll summon the robot buddies. For now, skills from left to right. We have slash, you roll forward, and then you do a slash. In fact, you know what, yeah. Let me get the robot buddies out. Thank you for teaching me this, box of octopus. Where is Zhao Yun? Alright. So, I really like the trinket, and I had it on my exorcist, I think. Because it's a ground recovery. It's a ground recovery that will leave the target fainted, and it guard breaks. So, and I believe you can even use it in the air. Yep. Doesn't look like he has a counterattack. He does have a deflect, though. Which I feel like most melee characters should. Yeah, there we go. I wanted to do one more deflect. You know what? Get these robot buddies out of here. Are they still fighting each other? They are. And yes, very quick cooldown. Like, very nice. And plus, I mean, it's just, oh, one other thing about this trinket that I really like is when you gear design it, it actually, like, I don't know how to word this, but oftentimes you can't gear design like the inside of something, but I'm pretty sure the texture for this, you could do the blade as well, which is a nice little touch. Okay, onto this one skill alone, you could not go one match without seeing back in like the 2013, 2014 era. Your helmet, you push someone back, and it leaves them half fainted. I know that doesn't seem very strong, but what if I told you it picks up off grounded? You got knocked anywhere remotely near the edge, bye-bye. They're gonna swap to someone with a Zhao Yun helmet, and your ass is grass. And plus, the fact that it picks them up off grounded and then, like, puts them in half faint status. Pretty sure if DevK was trying to block it, he wouldn't have been able to. So that helmet alone, man, gnarly. Like, nowadays, this is nothing. But back in the day, that's strong. And I'd even say it's still pretty strong today. Armor skill, I don't remember this, except for in the context that we spoke of before, where you could pick up the DevK boss and then glitch him mid-air. But I never liked doing that. I don't know, my scruples, I don't even know what that word means. It felt wrong, because he's just kind of floating there mid-air, bleeding out blue particle effects from his stomach. It made me feel bad, so I never liked doing that. You grab someone, you walk a little while, and then you can yeet him. It is a grab, so it probably never worked on NA, or if it did, it was like once in a blue moon. Helm can be used when you are hit. Oh, it's a half faint counter. Interesting. And then weapon skill. From what I remember, you just like kind of spin your blade around, and you can tap another button to launch off ground, and each of these attacks does guard break. Yeah, hitting guard will launch the enemy up, and then I imagine that sets you up perfectly to get another hold D in. What if I hit attack? Nothing happens if I hit attack, actually. Yep, immediately into that. So I'm gonna try to do a combo here. Actually, no, I suck at doing the whole D there, so I'll do this. Maybe immediately into the whip skill? Then you can just immediately go into that, pick him up again. That was a really crappy combo, but you get me. Can you use the weapon skill in the air? I don't think so. I don't think it's a ground recover either. But, I mean, that alone is pretty nice, the launcher. Because it looks like it knocks them down normally, but then you can pick them back up. Not bad. But, where exactly do we rank this fella? Zhao Yun. I can't speak for the evolution, though. It does seem... I've said this before, but when a character gets an evolution in Lost Saga, it's either the most busted, like, meta-defining crackhead shit ever, like Cowboy Evo, or it's just adding to their kit a little bit, making them a little more viable, giving them jump cancels, etc. Zhao Yun. The helmet makes me want to put him down here with Paladin and Tau Warrior, but I think that's too mean. I think our second largest category, actually almost third largest category so far, I think that's a solid B. With some jump cancels and some more stuff to go off of, which it looks like the evolution does give it, that could probably be an A. Not bad. Okay, on to the next character. I don't know why I have two scenes. This one seems a little redundant. I guess it's not taking up the entire screen, though. Card Magician. I can already tell you where he's going. Here's male. Here's female. This is another meta-defining character. If you played at all in 2013, 2014, you saw this character everywhere. And, okay, look, I must admit, FemCM, Card Magician, kind of a cutie. I never knew that. But I can tell you what's not cute. How fucking annoying it was to fight a Card Magician. It ruined this character for me forever, dog. Here's Card Magician in-game. Your weapon is a deck of cards, or at least a handful of cards, which admittedly is really fucking stylish. Right? Like, this is pretty badass. But you have, like, it's so free. From what I remember, fourth hit basics, fourth hit knocks back. Some noteworthy things that I remember, you can... Yeah, you have a jump attack that does hit grounded. You have a 2-hit dasher. I don't remember it firing 3 projectiles, do I remember it firing only 1? I wonder if that was a change they gave it at some point. Hold D dasher is a dash that you can follow up with a launcher. They gave him a reform? I don't remember what he was like when he first came out, admittedly. I only remember what he was like when he dominated the meta in those early days. Okay. I'm just gonna get into it. You hold D to start charging up cards, and this just has so... Like, it charges so fast, dog. And I believe it doesn't faint, but you could go into a dasher to knock down. Yeah. I would love this character if Matt... Yeah, it is a cool-looking character, and I'd never really noticed it, but the particle effect left behind is cool. I wonder if that reuses the texture, because this is one of those weapons that was really fun to gear design. I never had a Card Magician. It was one of those meta characters that was so meta that it turned me off of it forever. But I remember seeing someone with a Yu-Gi-Oh! Edit, so he turned this into a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card, which is really fun. So I wonder if when he attacks, it would be a trailing Yu-Gi-Oh! Card instead of the Ace of Spades there. Reform added more cards per throw, faster D-hold, and then added dash D-hold. Interesting. I wonder if the NA server... We probably didn't get him pre-reformed, but like this is horrendous right here. So they would, like, hit you with one... Okay, if they confirmed one of these off of you, they're going to go into that. They're going to go into a couple of this. If they have something to hit grounded, they'll swap to it and then hit you on the ground. Looking at it now, it almost feels quaint compared to later characters, but, I mean, the utility of it is, like, crazy. I'm assuming no jump cancels. So far, no jump cancels. Okay, no jump cancels. But you can both dash cancel and jump out of your charge. And look at how fast that is, dude. You could be so annoying. I'm not even really trying to aim at him, but I'm still hitting him. And the fact that if you get hit by one of these, you're just gonna get knocked down, bro. I remember people were very, very, very annoying with this character. I want to say that's it. Oh, no, one more thing. Air hold D, which is just a mobility option. I think you maybe throw one card and then... Yeah, you could throw one card and then air hold D in. And it, oddly enough, puts you in... It skips the first hit of your basic string. Yeah. Wait, can you dash through? Okay, no, I thought you could dash through enemies. Like, either way. That's surprisingly versatile. Instead of doing 2 of the light dashers, you could do 1 into the hold D into the launcher. And, of course, your basics do pick up off the launcher. This man is a menace. Looking back at him now, I'm not feeling the immense hatred I felt over the years. But as recently as 3 to 4 years ago, whenever the Papaya Play NA server or beta test was down for a week, I had to fight a couple of these guys, a couple of card magicians, decked out in full passive gear, as annoying as can be, and it made me angry again, dude. Okay, skills from left to right. Oh, Robin armor, like... Viking shield, etc., etc. TKM helmet. Nah. In fact, I think I showed off a video, and in fact, why don't we show off the video? I have a little bit of... Well, we'll do it after I grade the character, but just to show off what the character looks like in the hands of someone that can actually play him. Skills from left to right. Your trinket is this watch on your waist. It is a passive that, as it builds up, the next hit you deal will cause a slowdown. And it's, like, not super oppressive, but it's pretty free for what it is and very annoying to deal with. And when you have this to factor in just how you can hit from anywhere, it's a gnarly combo. And this dude's already pretty agile. If you're slowed down while fighting him, he's going to feel even faster. Helmet skill, I remember, was annoying. It's better in, like, a team setting. You throw out a bunch of doves, they will pick up a random enemy. I think it guard breaks and lifts them away. Shared an old meme I made in group chat. I will take a look at it momentarily. One more time. I mean, if you're lucky, it'll knock down. If you're unlucky, well, looks like we got lucky there by DevK. I had to go for a bit. Very important reasons, such as finding the image of Lubu drinking Pepsi. Thank you. Well, I mean, you know, that is a very important reason. Okay, on to armor skill. But it is kind of random, right? The helmet... Like, this is something you would obviously change on him. However, I must admit, it is pretty dapper. I mean, it's a top hat, right? Armor skill, I don't remember. I remember now. You chain as many people as are around you, I think. Oh, I can't do it in here. Let me go summon the robot buddies. Oops. Let's do this. Card Magician. Idle version of Destroyer has a chance to inflict that trinket on hit. I thought it was a guaranteed on hit. I had Idle Destroyer. It was just another reason to level up Destroyer, but more on that later. I won't be able to show them off, though. Okay, so I'm going to gather the robot buddies, and I'm curious if I can hit all of them with my armor skill here. Yep. Like, in a big circle around you... Oh, I can't reset the robot buddies. All right. You'll lock people in cages. That might give them a chance to recover, I'm not sure. And then you deal fall damage. Gnarly. And onto weapon skill. I don't remember if it can be used in the air. It doesn't look like it. I think this is just like a shotgun of guard breaking cards. Guard breaking cards. Is there any special property to this, like hold D or anything? I'm gonna try. No, it doesn't look like it. Yeah, you just fire a big card afterwards. That does launch pretty far though, and again, it is guard breaking, so like most skills. Okay, where do we rank? Where do we rank this menace? This absolute menace. I'm sorry, I gotta put him down there. The style alone makes me want to hit it. Makes me want to put him on like S, or maybe even I wish I played. But like, nah, dude, it was so oppressive. Like every high-level player in the game used this guy. It was an unfun meta. And honestly, you could probably still use this guy to this day. You just won't get as much off of like a drop or a feint as you would with like a unique or something, but that's to be expected. I'm gonna put him in the meta slave category because people would just like the range on him alone. They could just pick at you from far away with the dash attack, charge up the cards constantly. It just wasn't fun to fight against. And I did mention that I would do it, so give me a moment while I pull up YouTube. I think I've pulled up this exact video before. But it was like, I think it was drowning. I think the music was drowning me out. A tier because has range and can go close up to an enemy after. I'm gonna leave him in Meta Slave. You could. Is that a biased opinion? I think so. Well, that's where I'm gonna put him in. I hated Card Magician. Hang on. I believe it's Card Magician versus No Cash. I've pulled this up before. Let's see if he does anything fancy here. And let me actually lower the volume. It's already lowered, thankfully. Okay, we're gonna skip like this far in. This is what I meant about like in full meta gear. So he has Sapper armor on for the more dexterity. He's got Viking trinket, so if you hit him from behind, it'll act as if you got deflected, making him even more annoying. He might even be able to counterattack off of that. And then TKM helmet to recover midair. This looks to be pre-reform because he's only firing out. Look at that. He knew he was gonna get hit, so he just turned around to get the Viking shield. Just lower that a bit. Like when he's right around here, he's just gonna turn around for that Viking shield. But it's actually not enough to stop No Cash here. Yeah, he turns around, but he has Heavy Crasher. He goes into that, but he doesn't get a combo off of it. Homeboy's actually not making him look that... Okay, I'm taking like a second to type, I think. Okay, never mind. Homeboy's getting his ass whooped. Oh, no, he got his helmet stripped off. Priest Air Dasher, Muay Thai combo, Ragnar Trinket, Shotgun Shot, Special Forces, Death Knight. This would feel awful. Yeah, that was the meta shit back in the day. Your tier list, your rules. Yes, exactly. Anyway, I wanted to show off a good Card Magician, but he just ended up getting his ass whooped. Whoops. You know what? Maybe he wasn't as bad as I remember. I just had a hard time fighting him. Homeboy getting body. I mean, that's No Cash. That was like a serious name on the Korean server. I don't know anything about him personally, but there's a lot of videos of people recording No Cash playing. Hang on. Let's get the music back. You know what? On second thought, let's try to not be too biased. Best I can do is a B, homeboy. Maybe A with how the utility of just being able to attack, charge that fast and hit from afar like that. I will put him in a B. I think the meta slave category should just be for the worst of the worst. Actually, no. I can't. I can't. Like, in my bones, hatred was rising as I remembered having to deal with this fucker. He's gonna stay down there. You know the Filthy Frank, like, know your place, trash. He's after throwing something in a trash can. I don't know the context of it, but that's where he goes. Okay, next character. Who is after Card Magician? Barbarian! Ooh, this is definitely a character I wish I played more. Look at Femme Barbarian. Not to be mixed up with Savage Berserker, by the way. This is Barbarian. Double axes. I did try to play this a little bit. So let me see if I remember much. I don't own one, so we're going to have to do training. I will grab the robot buddies just in case. That's Capoeira. It's not one that's... Where is Barb? Here's Barb in-game. Like a very intricate gear set. I don't remember the eyes glowing like that. That's pretty badass, actually. Alright, from what I remember, 4-hit basics, 4th hit feints. It might even be 3-hitters. Yeah, it's a 3-hitter, but the 3rd hit hits twice. And it knocks down. You have a very annoying dash attack. It's almost like a proto-Dark Monk, if you know Dark Monk. If you hit twice with it, it'll pick up. Or maybe like a Justice Defender Hold D Dasher. Which you can jump cancel this, by the way, if you want to be extra annoying. Making it pretty safe, because like otherwise, that's pretty unsafe if they block it. But you can make it safe just by jumping out. Your jump attack, I remember being really strong because that is a feint. That is just a feint on a jump attack. It's a bit of a slow jump attack, but even still, catching someone off guard with that can be gnarly. There might be a follow-up to the spin, or maybe that's the evolution. I did not have the evolution. I'm only going off of faint memories from 50 years ago. I kind of want to see this thing in a crowd, so it'll be fine. Let me see. How does this hit if there's... Yeah, okay, if there's people close by. If you're in the middle of an enemy team, that could be really annoying. I believe there's a Hold D Dasher? No? I thought there was a Hold D Dasher. Where you aim kind of like Chieftain armor skill? I guess not. Or that's a... Oh, no, that's the regular Hold D. That's the standing Hold D. And I remember you being able to aim this, but I guess you can only aim it in the 8 directions. So I believe if you just quick tap it, it only goes so far, but if you charge it up, it goes even further. This will hit grounded, by the way. Well, probably not from that angle. It's a bit of an awkward angle right there. I remember now. You can jump. If you confirm off of this, you can jump cancel it, land the jump attack. The jump attack ground bounces if it hits an airborne target. Bounce with the ground bounce, you can then do your full 3-hitter, well 4-hitter, I guess technically. Could I even start with one of those? Oh, brother. Oh my god, that's crazy. That's really easy to do, actually. And then you could even finish it off with one of those. A quick Hold D. Z8's highly requested hero. Was there some history with that, Alonso? My memories of the Z8 of the early Z8 and the entirety of the We Made days are very foggy. Dude, that's gnarly. Like we haven't even gotten into skills yet, and I want to rank this dude pretty high. And plus, my list, my rules. I like axes, okay? And the 2 badass axes are pretty cool in my book. It even hits twice on ground, which would be really good if the enemy was, like, already out of health. You could probably strip 2 gears with that. Did I see that right? Did that really hit twice on ground? I don't know. Maybe at a certain angle it hits twice. Or that was just... No, yeah. At a certain angle it hits twice. They said that next week was going to be a highly requested hero, then they released Barb, when literally every other hero was more requested. Z8. Z8 games. I do not miss you at all. I hope you burn in hell, actually, with your beloved fucking Crossfire IP. Anyway. Any memories of fighting Barbarian players? I mean, a lot of this, right? I don't really remember them doing that crazy combo. It doesn't even seem that hard to do. You can even do it off of a feint. You don't even need meter for this. So let's say you feinted with any other character. You could swap to Barb, go into the Dasher, jump cancel, And then hold E. That's 10 hits, dude, off of feint status. I don't think that's that bad for that era of the game. And then they gave it an evolution, which grants another spinning on dash attack, guard break on D hold, and self-buffing mechanics. Dude, that's right up my alley. I can already tell where this one's going. If I aimed that, I could have sworn you could have... Like, I remember a targeting reticule popping up, but I guess I'm mixing that up with, like, paladin armor or something. And I will admit, this actually really feels... This feels good. The jump canceling, the ground bounce, and then pretty easily getting your full D string off. That's nice. No infinite block. You do run, and admittedly, this feels very slow. You'd need a lot of movement speed. It doesn't actually feel that slow when you're spinning, surprisingly. I think that's it for mechanics, at least non-evolution mechanics. No dashers. I can't, like... I can jump out of the hold D charge. Can I run? And you can dash out of the hold D charge. So you can be pretty tricky. Like someone catches you while you're charging this up. Nah, you actually didn't. Fascinating. All right, skills from left to right. Bloodlust. You sacrifice some health to get like way more movement speed. Way more movement speed, and I think damage. I can't really quantify that. I do... Okay, it's not a memory... Okay, no, I'll have to save that for Titan. But I remember this skill being in a friend's video. But that video is about Titan. I will show the entire video. I have full videos of this game that I want to show off. So we'll move to the theater scene, and I'll get that set up when it's time. But I vividly remember this trinket being part of it. More on that maybe later tonight, because it's Titan. It's like... It's one of the early rare characters, I want to say. Okay. This does last quite a while, by the way. And that's a pretty nice movement speed buff. Okay, let's reset. War Howl. I think this hard stuns. No, yeah, they run in random directions and then they get hard stunned. But a nice thing about this is that it hits grounded, so it'll restand off grounded. That's actually, again, you could do much worse. You could do much worse than that. Body Crasher. I don't remember, so it's probably a grab skill. Yeah, it's a grab skill. So nobody on this side of the hemisphere used this. Because even though this looks really cool and probably sets him up for some nice combos, I mean, it's not going to work on NA, so what's the point? And then you can go into the ground bounce, get your standing D-string off. Damn. Trinket? Oh, the self buff is basically trinket, but stack up to 3. Really? So you can sacrifice health to get faster and do more damage? That's nice. That sounds like a fun evolution, dude. Can you do any of these in the air? I don't think so. And the web skill, I think, is just you swing a bunch of times, guard breaking. Ends in a launcher, which you can then pick up with your basic string or get a ground bounce. Okay, I did that actually a little too low to the ground. Yep. The air decay is kind of doing a number on you there, but you can do that. Can I mash out of this? Let me see. I can't read the language. It says S untuk berputar. I don't know what that means. Okay, yeah, you can hit guard to do a different attack. Let's see what it does. It just hits a couple more times and spins. Okay. Dude, I liked this guy a lot, actually. Barbarian. That's an easy A. Like, I don't know if that has the utility or whatnot to be considered S. You know what? No. I think it does. But it's actually going to be an I wish I played. Because not even with the evolution, that sounds fun. That sounds really fun. Honestly, Matt, just swap off the armor. If there's a crappy gear, just swap it off with, like, anything else in the game. This might sound kind of weird. I kind of want to see what he would be like with a Robin Hood armor. If you remember, Robin Hood armor is just a passive double jump. You can be kind of tricky and maybe like get better angles on your jump attack. And remember the jump attack feints, which is really strong. Yeah, I wish I played Barbarian. That is a fun fucking character. And that's only briefly trying him out for a little bit. Maybe it's just one that resonates more with the way I liked to play, but... And, you know, bonus points for having an axe. Bonus points on top of that for having 2 axes. Very cool still. Barbarian is pretty scary. Problem has short range. Most players I've met use Phoenix Wings. Phoenix Wings. Oh, Phoenix Wings on that thing would be scary. You'd need some movement speed, I think. So we already showed it off, but if you have a pair of wings on, you can do your jump attack much lower to the ground, like instantly. It really helps, like, Desert Blader get the feint. When the music was suddenly loud. The feint off of the jump attacks. I could see that being scary. I don't know if I would like Phoenix Wings, though. Either way, that's an S, and I wish I played him. I wish I played that character more. Oh, well, that wasn't on screen. Whoops. Either way, he's an S. Okay, who's up next? After Barbarian is Iori Yagami. I cannot show him off. I'm sorry. Maybe we can briefly take a look at the details here. I can show Femiori, which is phenomenal. I've maybe been using that word a little too much, but magnifique. 10 out of 10? Amazing? Like, it just makes sense. Iori had a really fun taunt, actually. If you, he does, like, a very iconic laugh in the KOF games, I'm pretty sure, and it's exactly that. Iori Yagami. Can we show off the 3D model, at least? Let me make this full screen. Yeah, oh yeah, there's the laugh. How do I explain him? Oh, Barbarian... Okay, yeah, I already read that. So, this was the first input character, I believe. You can see right here. You can actually do your skills just by inputting those arrows in that order. During an attack or after an attack. I forget how it goes. But it was actually really fun to do. And not only that, he had attacks that you could only do by inputting. Like, he had what I'm going to call a Shoryuken. That might be sacrilege, since that's a Street Fighter move and he's a KOF character. But he could do, like, a Shoryuken. In fact, I'm going to pull up a video. We're not going to watch the entire thing, but I swear there's an Iori Yagami combo in it. Give me a moment while I cover up my screen here. Fun fact, his taunt is so good, they remade an emote that's basically that laugh. Wow! Nice. So you can still have access to that without having the character, since their licenses are all gone. Welcome to Lost Saga. Let's see if this actually pops up. Oh my god, it actually pops up. This is a video by Rising Studio, or Rising Omega. It has a Japanese song. It's just he edited a bunch of gameplay together. It was very fun. But I vividly remember there's an Iori Yagami. Yeah, there's an Iori Yagami right there. Let me see if I can find the Iori combo in here. Hang on. Again, if you want to watch the whole thing, it's Welcome to Lost Saga. Oh, no, here's a Kyo. Oh, no, hang on. There's an Iori. Right here, I think. No DMCA, please. Yeah, look at this shit. So off of ground, you could launch, you could drag. They didn't have a limiter when these characters first came out, so you could do this shit. That's Kyo Kusanagi fighting right now, but Iori's the exact same. Oh, and you had an input that was a guard-breaking grab. Dude, it's as scary as it looks right there. Like, I'm trying to remember what this input is exactly. So, that's the dasher. Hold D to do a fireball. Out of the hold D, do a SRK input, or like a, like a dragon punch, a Shoryuken input. Then you can pick up with a couple of hits. Hold D, launch, what's it called? Shoryuken input. Hold D. You could keep it going and going and going, bro. And then with characters like Kyo here, we'll get more into that later. I'll just probably pull up the same video. You could just spam this attack for infinite pressure. Bye-bye. Left down, right, left for the grab. That sounds about right. I did have an Iori Yagami, by the way. I did have an Iori Yagami. Hang on. Let's go back over here. I'll just try to explain how the character fought outside of that. Honestly, that's about it. You had an input to do a fireball, so you could hold D for one fireball and then do the same 2 fireball inputs over and over again. So you could fire out 3 in a row. I want to say they do their own unique fire status, but don't quote me on that. And let's go ahead and move on to the skills. It would be so nice if it could animate the skills here. But Yagami Crest is you just you aim like Paladin armor skill. You jump in that direction, you slam, and it does it launches them super high up and they take fall damage. It will hit grounded. The helmet, quote unquote, which is just a choker. I think it's like a 3-punch combo that does like a fire wave at the end, something like that. The armor skill's a grab, so I don't even know what it does. No, wait, you grab somebody, you slam them into the ground, and then it does like a purple flame explosion. Yeah. And then the weapon skill, I don't fucking know, dude. I don't remember, I'm sorry. So, I'm a bit of a poser in this regard. I've not played very many KOF games. In fact, I don't think I've played any KOF games outside of like arcade cabinets. But Iori Agami, dude, I've always thought Iori Agami was really fucking cool. I think he's even in universe kind of just looked at like a psychopath, because I think he is a psychopath. But like, dude, style immaculate, play style immaculate, just a fun character. So that's definitely going to be here. And honestly, also, I wish I played more. Because even though I had one, I ended up scrapping it eventually because I didn't like the way it played when I first got him. It was a mistake. I didn't have hero slots. I deleted him. I genuinely regret it. Especially now that the things are gone. Oh, you know what? That's actually... sure, hang on. He did get an isekai manga. So for some reason, the King of Fantasy is a isekai manga, but it's not just any isekai manga. It's an isekai manga about Iori Yagami ending up in a fantasy world. I believe Kyo Kusanagi is also isekai'd, but I didn't get the translation stopped before that point. But he goes to this other world, and it's like a fantasy and magic world, but people that he knows from KOF are there, but they're not the same person. They just look like them. I don't remember any of the other character names, but it was a phenomenal read, honestly. King of Fantasy. I should go back and see if they ever translated more of this, because I did really like King of Fantasy. Which they also treat him like a psychopath in there, too. Because he does the laugh a couple of times out of nowhere, and everyone's like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? SNK is so good, they have amazing pixel art. Yes, they do. I regret not playing KOF games growing up. The closest I ever got, actually, outside of arcade cabinets, was KOF 13. Is that the one that was on PS3? I had the demo for that on my PS3. In fact, I still have that demo. Anyway. Moving along now. The next character is... Let's get rid of Yori here. Next character is D'Artagnan. I never knew how to pronounce this. I always pronounce it as Dartganan or some shit like that. In Takuyasugi's videos, he pronounced it as D'Artagnan. So ever since then, I've pronounced it as D'Artagnan. I remember I don't know what to call this, like a Three Musketeer. Amazing femme, by the way. Just saying. There's not a whole lot of this in the game, so every little bit of it is a pleasant surprise, we'll say. Another melee character, you'll come to probably, or not even come to notice, you've probably already noticed by now, there's a disproportionate amount of melees in the game. In fact, I'd say it's most of the roster. Let's see, D'Artagnan. The Takuya pronunciation is correct. Okay, so this is that's how I pronounce him. Here's him in game. 2 rapiers, or it's like a rapier and like a dagger, I guess. I always thought it was 2 rapiers. Isn't there a femme Iori in KOF? I think you're thinking of... not Sham. KOF Shermie? I don't believe she has any... I don't know if she has any relation to Iori, but I'll quickly show her off. Because this is also a great design. I think this is who Matt's talking about. Shermie? A parrying dagger. Yeah, it kind of looks like it, right? Because the handle is in such a way where it might catch a sword or something. Either way, let me get back over here. And honestly, I think we're going to move to another game soundtrack. Here is Ragnarok Online. Alright, D'Artagnan. So I also had a D'Artagnan. I did not use it much, but what a cool looking character. This is definitely one that I wish I played more. Shermie's not related to Ori, she belongs to the bad guys. I didn't know that. So, 4-hit basics, 4th hit feints. 4th hit feints. You have a dasher, which is a launcher, and it looked like it might actually pick up off feint status. Let me try that again. Yes! I don't know if that's high enough for you to then go into the jump combo. There is 3 hits on your jumper. The 3rd hit does that nice, like, I don't know if it's a half feint, but it looks like a half feint. Miss X. I thought you were thinking of Shermie, because she always made me think of Iori. Miss X. KOF. Excuse me? Is this actually a Femi-Ori? Well, actually, wait, no, yeah, because Iori was in... Oh, God. Is she from SNK Heroines? I mean, we just talked about an SNK character, so I'll pull it up real quick. Oh, whoops. Let me actually pull it up over here. 1 second. I'm afraid of what might pop up. Miss X KOF. There was a KOF fighting game that was full of fan service called SNK Heroine Brawlers or something like that. And there was an Iori, but it just kind of looks like Iori in that, like, Oendan, like, long skirt school uniform kind of thing. Either way. And there's also a Femme Terry Bogard. I'm sure you've probably seen that before. Either way, let's get back to the D'Artagnan. Also known as historically practical dual wielding. Huh. Either way, moving on. Sorry, that was your Femi-Ori. So your jump attack will... What the fuck's playing right now? I do have it on shuffle. I'm gonna have Tread on. This is one of my favorite songs in the game, so I'll just have that playing. It does a hard knockdown. Doesn't bounce. Or it might bounce, but you're mid-air on your way down, so there's no way you can capitalize off of that. Your regular jump or dasher. I could have sworn there was a different version. Now that's what I'm thinking of. You have a hold D that hits twice, which I think just knocks down. But you can input a direction afterwards to be very tricky. Kind of like how Zhao Yun was earlier. You can go in any direction. Oh, even forward. I thought you couldn't do forward. You can't do directly forward, but you can do diagonally forward. Jump attack can be followed up into air dash. There's an air dash? Oh! Hang on. Let's reset Dev K here. Oh, is that with the Evo? Or do you mean, like, only get 2 hits of the jumper in? Oops. Look, I'm scrubbing it up right now. I suck at the game, okay? The game's been dead for like 6 years. That almost looks like it can connect, but maybe Dev K's like tiny hitbox isn't helping here. Maybe if I don't immediately... Hang on. Try that one more time. Remember, the HQ has funky gravity. Try it with bots or tall heroes. Sure, actually. Yeah. That's actually not... That's not hard to do at all. So we pull this up, and then I'll go back to D'Artagnan. How that is pronounced as D'Artagnan, I don't know, but sure. Okay, let's try with Cyborg here. I think I'm doing that too high up in the air, perhaps. Problem is, I gotta wait for this guy to stand back up again. I mean, you still say that there's funky gravity here. What happens if I do this? Yeah, okay, it can connect. I'm just scrubbing it up after a launcher. Delay the air attack a bit. Okay. Ah, that's nice. That's nice. Could I do that on Dev K if I delay it? Okay, well, maybe not. Yes! Okay! Okay. Also, is that a half feigner? And can I get a full feint off of it? No. Okay, that looks like medic jump attack, so I thought perhaps I could get a full feint off of that. There's a bit of a delay after landing. There you go. It just sends back a decent bit. Ooh, I like the block. I don't know. Something about that looks cool. No super jump, but a double jump, which you can air dash afterwards. What a stylish double jump as well. Characters, they do reuse like some jump animations and stuff, but sometimes they are wholly unique to the character. And this one feels kind of unique. I don't know if this character got an evolution, but right off the bat, I'm already wishing I played this one more. So, is there any property to this? That's the dasher. No, that lasts too long. Yeah, not quick enough. I thought I'm workshopping whatever I can to get a feint here. Not quite working out though. I don't remember anything else. I remember 4-hit basics. You do not pick up off feint status with your basics. But as we saw earlier, you can go into a dasher. If it's off of feint status, though, it doesn't launch very high. It does have an Evo, okay. Your basics do pick up, though, so if you do catch someone with your launcher, that's not hard to do at all. And then I'm pretty sure with your trinket, you could reset off grounded. My timing's a bit funky, but yeah. Speaking of which, I don't think there's any other property. You do enter this stance when you go into a hold D dasher, which charging it up sends you really far. The Evo is stupid fun, really, because I'm already finding this pretty fun. I missed out on a lot of cool characters, huh? And I even had this one permanently. Okay, skills from left to right. I don't remember if it has a counter. I guess I can head over to the robot buddies real quick. I don't think he has a deflect either. I swear that was a deflect time right there. Not having a deflect sucks, but it's not the end of the world. Wait, that looked like a counter. Hang on. Ah, my attack key just flew off. Whatever, kill me. So I play rhythm games, and my... Oh, whoops, that actually takes me out of training. I forgot about that. My K key, which I mash a lot, it's not exactly... It can fly off if I press it at the bad angle. So, whoops, let's go back to D'Artagnan. Okay, so skills from left to right. Your trinket is this cape on your back. Style-wise, pretty nice. Like everything, pretty nice, honestly. Even just recoloring this thing would go kind of hard. In general, like the whole look. As I showcased earlier, it actually does hit and lift off grounded, which sets you up very nicely to continue a combo right there. I don't think it has an air use, but I want to say it has a ground recovery, which I can easily showcase. Well, somewhat easily, anyway. Pretty sure this thing has a ground recovery. Yep. Kind of fucked up the timing there, but yeah. It doubles the dash hold D, increases the number of stabs to 3 times, and can be followed up into the next stab, and of course... Special S attack that lifts opponent and pokes them if they are grounded. Huh. I don't know why I figured they'd give him more options in the air. But being able to chain 2 of those sounds nice. So like one of these right after the other. Helmet skill. I'm gonna have to get my ass whooped to show this off. This is a crazy good gear. He's gonna have to punch me while I'm in the air. Oh, actually no, he can launch me. If he wants to, anyway. There we go. D'Artagnan hat lets you... Oh, he does have a counter, by the way. Nice, and it looked like a unique, like, stabbing animation like that. So, with D'Artagnan hat charged, when you get knocked airborne, and you don't have, like, fire debuff or anything on you, you can jump out of that. And immediately act out of it as well. So it's kind of like TKM helmet, but your air status is reset, meaning you can go into a whole lot, like anything else, really. It looks like they nerfed it, though. It used to have 3 charges per, like jumping would only use up about 1/3 of the full charge here. But it used the whole thing, so it looks like KLS has been nerfing the shit out of passives. The problem with this hero Evo is that you dash around so fast that it's too good for you. You end up missing the attacks or just fall off the map because of how far you zip around. That's a good problem to have, dog. I mean, like, just charging this up is pretty far. Even, so I imagine the Evo's even funner. Okay, armor skill is actually really decent. It's like, I remember being 8 shots of a shotgun. What a 3 Musketeer has with why a 3 Musketeer has a shotgun, I don't know, but I'm not questioning it. Not only that, but it hits grounded. So this is actually like a decent option. The normal D-hold. Oh. Really? So that goes an extra 2 times, you said? Huh. Okay. And I think it might even... It tries to hit airborne, yeah. This was not a bad option to hit someone that was grounded back in the day if you didn't have anything else. And plus, it looks cool. So I started blasting, yes. And then web skill is a bunch of guard-breaking stabs. If you don't press anything afterwards, it just ends. But I think if you press D, you'll stab forward. Let me see. I swear you do like a stinger. I guess this entire character is about stingers. It has a rapier after all. No, you press guard, and then you do a stinger forward that puts them into feint status. Oh, was the armor also a half feint recovery? Even better, man. If there are multiple targets, as I just showcased here, I forgot to mention, it'll just shoot between them randomly. Or it might go from one to the other. I remember, yeah. There's an air use of the weapon skill. And then you can even do the guard tap afterwards for a feint. But if they're already feinted by the ground slam, then it won't do anything. It'll just knock them down. Yeet! If that traveled a little further, I'd like it a lot. It's a bit better on Evo. Nice. I mean, that's a lot of hits. And then it looks a bit for the 7th hit, you want to do you want to press guard. Yeah, that launches them, like, the air decay is too much for me to go into a jump combo there. We probably just want to do a regular basic string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Launcher. I was a bit slow there. As everyone knows, Smith & Wesson are a knight's best friends. A musketeer as well, apparently. If I was a little faster there, I could have picked that up and then ended it with the armor skill. D'Artagnan. I mean, it's one of the Evos that makes it sound like they just added to the character to make them better. So maybe if I ever show off the Evos at some point, we can see more of that. But for now, dude, that's an S. And I wish I could have played it more. Maybe even an A, actually. No, there's a lot to like there. And the style factor, man. I like D'Artagnan. I wish I played D'Artagnan more. Try air option D, then S. What is S again? S is block and... Hang on. Let me see. When you say air option, do you mean the web skill in the air? Because I press D after that and nothing happens. Oh, that even resets my skills, huh? Yeah, nothing happens after I do the jumper. Maybe that's a change with the evolution. Not even being able to just do it. I guess not. You can go into this. You can go into the guard, which is the stinger. Like, that's really cool. Yeah, that's an S. How could that be an A? Alright, next character. After D'Artagnan is GA, Graffiti Artist. Another very unique weapon. I mean, it's 2 cans of spray paint. I believe there's a character in that last KOF game, KOF 15, I think. I always wanted to pick that up, by the way. I regret that I never did. KOF 15. I think there's a lady that fights with I almost said gas cans, with spray cans. Here's Femme. I don't remember Femme, but damn. That's cute. Just improve weapon skill. Yeah, I feel like most evolutions at least improve your weapon skill somehow. Rapiers are easily in my top 5 favorite swords. I like rapiers a lot. It might even be top 3 if we're speaking about just swords. Great swords probably at the very tip top. I should do a sword tier list at some point. But rapier might be 3. Maybe even 2. They're just so stylish. And who doesn't love a good stinger? Either way, moving on. Graffiti Artist. Hot Tomboy Edgy GF. Exactly. Those are great words when put together like that. Here's Graffiti Artist in game. I think I wanted to gear design the armor at some point, but I never got around to it. As you can see, your weapon is 2 cans of spray paint. Here's the thing, guys. I actually never really learned how to play this character, but I know he was very annoying to fight against. So we'll just go off of what I remember. I think it's 3-hit basics. The 3rd hit will use one of your meter to put a spray thing that will eventually pop. All of his stuff eventually pops for an extra hit. So you have to worry about that. Graffiti is still meta. Flyer in this game because their projectile stays even if you are knocked down. A good graffiti artist can combo from one corner to another corner of the map. Jesus Christ. I have a nagging feeling in my brain that using gear design on the cans changed the graffiti. If it did, damn, dude, I wish I played the character. Very rarely alone so does gear designing the weapon or any part of it also change an animation in the game. But, like, Necromancer from last tier list stream, that would change the skull animations that popped up. If you could also change the graffiti that popped up, that's badass. Let's see. Your dash attack immediately puts down one? No, it doesn't. Travels pretty far, though. Graffiti main gimmick is graffiti that you can explode the graffiti using guard. Oh, really? Wait, how? So that pops eventually, but how can I pop it myself? That's web skill. Try this. Hold or D-hold plus dash cancel S. Oh, that's pretty gnarly. I never knew that. Okay. No wonder the times I tried to learn this character, it didn't make sense. Interesting. Does that include this one? Yeah, it's specifically... Hang on. Yeah, it's specifically a dash. Hold D. Air attack twice, then press S. It's going forward way more than I remember. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. I'm starting to see it. Fascinating. Hang on. Maybe on like a regular sized human. Nope, not paladin. To explode it, you need to be doing different action than attacking to explode it early. Similar to Staff Master, I see. That's already kind of nuts. So you're telling me they put Phoenix Wings on the... Damn, dude, really? Wow. I never learned... I guess I never knew how to pop the spray early. That's rough. You do have a... You have a launcher on the second hit. Any jump canceling? I remember there being jump canceling for some reason. I guess not. Okay. And then the launcher. Your basics do carry. Makes sense. Oh, you could probably even pop that immediately. Maybe not. The hero's annoying because graffiti spawns behind the enemy. Yes, so you would have to, like, turn around to block it, but then that leaves you vulnerable. Unless you had a 360 guard. That could be really rough. No air hold D, no air dasher, no double jump. You do have a super jump. Okay. Kind of rare for a melee character, I want to say. Every time you spray, you can dash cancel it. Oh my god, this is the kind of character that would like, give you carpal tunnel syndrome then. Oh, so that actually combos then, is what you're telling me. But then, maybe immediately into the launcher? One katana, 2 rapier, 3 Zweihander, 4 longsword. I'd have to find an actual tier list to sort my thoughts, I would imagine. Fascinating. I think that's it for the character. Like, setting up traps, like, I don't know how to describe this character, but it was unfun to fight. That's how strong it could be. Nobody told me you could dash cancel the spray. Nobody told me you could pop the spray early. Damn. Okay, moving on to skills, left to right. I think the trinket is really unique in the fact that you disguise yourself as the enemy team. And you might think, like, Zex, what does that do for you? People are just going to know you're not on their team. In the middle of a chaotic team fight, you'd be surprised by how this actually tricks people. And then you can immediately attack out of it. Why is this hero annoying? Phoenix Wings and Zoro Hat. Might as well have infinite gauge. And yeah, you have a fly that leaves a projectile that you can then pop. Yeah, honestly, I think this comes back way too fast. It doesn't even need a meter. That's kind of gross, even. A bit overtuned. Either way, like, again, you'd be surprised at how many times this actually worked in the middle of a chaotic team fight. Of course, attacking out of it does uncloak you, but I believe you can't get hurt? Or can you get hurt while you're cloaked? Yeah, you can't get hurt while you're cloaked. It treats you as if you're their teammate, but I think that wears out eventually. Armor skill has a defensive option. It recovers for you. Or it's a ground recovery anyway. I want to see if the trinket's also a ground recovery. It is not. Okay, that's all I wanted to know. Historical weapon tier list, when? Sometime. I've been wanting to do more tier lists, even. I thought about doing an MMORPG tier list tonight. Speaking of MMORPGs, we've been hearing a little too much of the same Ragnarok song. It's like 100-some songs in here. Okay. The rest of graffiti artist skill. Or other skills. So, your helmet skill was okay. You start jamming out, this guard breaks, and I think it kind of CCs them while they're like jamming along to the music with you. But more importantly, it hits grounded. I've walked this guy like quite a few feet actually, and you may even be able to catch the launch at the very end. Let's see. Okay, well I didn't even need to hit him there. He just fell off. There's literally a hero that has this hero trinket skill as an ability. I know the Phantom Thief armor turns you into the enemy team. I used that a lot as well. It's one of the most stylish armors in the game, but we never got the actual hero. Anyway, moving along, you saw this earlier, but your armor skill, you will, like, lean down? I can't think of the right word for that. Two things will summon behind you and throw a guard-breaking projectile that heart stuns. I think it's guard-breaking anyway. I guess I can't assume that for every single one. But you can tap a direction after this to roll that way. And it's a ground recovery. Pretty nice. Weapon skill is guard breaking. You run around and hit a bunch of times. It may as well be guitar. I was going to say guitar hero weapon skill, but no. Rockstar weapon skill. It's pretty much the same thing. Yes, I know that, again, that one wasn't on NA, so that one's going to be quite a ways away from now. Once we hit a certain point when the NA server closed down, I won't know what to say, so we'll have to take some time to try to understand how the character plays. So, more on that later. I get kind of like right now, I guess. I vaguely knew how GA played, but I didn't know how to do any of the fancy stuff. Anyway, I think that does it. I don't think there's any, like, air uses. Can you use the weapon skill in the air? No. Trinket in the air? No. Alright. Not factoring all the crazy shit, like high skill ceiling stuff, I'll put him in A. Maybe even the uniqueness of the weapon bumps him up to S, but I think that's an A. No, because the pressure you can do with the graffiti. If you're a good graffiti artist, yeah, that's S rank. I hated fighting them because I never understood how to. Let's see. One of the best Ragnarok songs ever. Oh, I found a tier list that has a bunch of MMOs on it, and I didn't check, but I hope Lost Saga's on there because I saw Rumble Fighter on there, which was another fighting game that I was gonna say GOP. That's not what that is. OGP, OG Planet, the first hosts of Lost Saga. That's another game that they ran for a while. Another premium, I can't show this off, but I can show one thing off. I'll just try to describe the character the best I can. This is Haomaru. This is Femme Haomaru. Magnifique. This is Haomaru from Samurai Showdown. It's another premium character. No longer in the game, sadly. I did have one. From what I remember, let's take a look at the details here. From what I remember, you did have inputs, but it wasn't like a big combo kind of character. Your basic string was only a 3-hitter, but you could follow up the 3-hitter with an input that would fire out a tornado, and then you could do an attack off of the tornado, if I'm remembering right. Let's see if we can see the in-game model here. Yep, there he is. Also in Soul Calibur 6, by the way. And of course, also in Samcho, that's where he comes from. We'll be doing Soul Calibur 6 sometime next week, whenever the birthday stream happens, by the way. It's even if you don't like fighting games, you might want to tune in, because we're making a ton of custom characters. Should be interesting, should be kind of wacky. I know I got a couple of surprises for the Zoomers. More on that later, though. Don't want to ruin the surprise. Oh, hey! I can actually see the Femme model. I don't know why... I can't, like, turn it around? No. There's no, like, skin... That's not... It's fine. It's not perfect, but still, that's cool. Commit is basically an instant win button if succeeded. Oh, but it didn't work on NA box of octopus. So going through the skills, again, not much for combos. From what I remember, the trinket is actually like a really quick hard stun. You swing your jug of sake, and if it hits somebody, it hard stuns them. I think if it hits an airborne opponent, then it will hard stun them again. So it'll restand them and hard stun them, making them more, you know, you can prolong your combo with that. The helmet skill did not work on NA. It's not a lollipop. That's actually glitched. It's a thing of like wheat or straw or whatever. Like we can just show off the art. Never mind, they're not holding it in the art. I think that the 3D viewer is just bugged. That's supposed to be a transparent PNG around that part of whatever that is. But it isn't. It's not working right here. That's fine. So you do a clash with, like, you rush forward. If you hit somebody with it, you both have to mash your attack key, and whoever mashes faster will knock off the weapon of the opponent. Yes, that's as insane as it sounds. You suddenly don't have a weapon. Meaning you're naked, basically. You do still have your armor, helmet, and trinket, but you just have a shitty 3-hit combo and a 1-hit dasher. When you don't have a weapon in this game, you're in a rough situation, dog. It didn't work on NA, thank fucking God it didn't work on NA. And apparently, according to Box of Octopus, they changed it, so it's only a 50% chance that they'll drop their weapon. It was guaranteed back in the day. Disgusting. It technically counted as a grab, I want to say, or for whatever reason, it just didn't work on the North American server, and thank God for it. The armor, I don't remember. I remember liking the armor. I mean, just look at it. It's one of the few models in the game that has tits. Not to be that guy or anything, but like most of the characters in this game are flat as hell. Anyway, I don't remember what the armor does. Only the enemy will lose the weapon. Win or lose, the wearer is safe. Damn, that's strong. When gear dropped in hat, trinket, armor, and weapon order, a weapon skill bypassing it and helping to strip was strong. I think that's strong to this day, bro. And it's probably been a decade since Haomaru came out. In fact, let's test that theory. Takuyasugi Haomaru. Let's see. Oh, he has a 30-second thing on a combo. Let's actually see this. Hang on, did he have he had way more of a combo game than I remember, damn. I don't remember him having these combos. Holy shit. Damn, dude. Also, what was the armor skill? Oh, you just do like a big slam, right? Hang on, he's about to do it here? Yeah, and it ground bounces. That's kind of cool. Big slash that has a 30% chance to drop your enemy weapon. I don't remember it having weapon dropping capabilities. That's insane. What the fuck were they thinking? In Sam Show, you die in a couple of hits, right? It's kind of accurate in that if you get cut with a katana, you're probably gonna die, right? That's how I remember Sam Show being marketed as, anyway. I could be wrong. I've never played a Sam Show. But anyway, there's one video I wanted to show from Takuyu's channel. He loved Haomaru. What the hell? Let me see if I can find it on his channel. Again, shout out Takuyasugi, our one content creator. I wanted to make content just like him. I wish I did back then. Haomaru. Is it Haomaru with an H at the end? No, it's Haomaru without an H. He has one video. It's a joke video, but I wanted to pull it up anyway. Let me see. It might just be called training. Mortal Kombat. Okay, it's not important. He sees how long he can go doing the down input, which has him like do a push-up or something. So he just does it over and over again with music blaring in the background. Anyway, that was Haomaru. Again, not much I can show there, sadly. Weapon skill, I don't remember. It's just a guard breaking at like a couple of slashes, I think. Sam Show. You can die in 2 hits. Also, dropping the enemy weapon is a mechanic there. No weapon equals a lot less options and have to go grab it. Okay, so that explains why his skills are so strong. I thought they were having the weapon dropping mechanic sort of being like... I mean, in this game, if you don't have your weapon, you may as well be dead, right? So I thought that was trying to sort of showcase the Sam Show style of like, you die in a couple of hits. 2 hits, apparently, Jesus. Anyway, moving along. Again, not a character I can show off very much of. But I'll put him in A. Not S. I'll put him in A. Yeah, I'll put him in A. I think any character with inputs has like so many options available to them. That's at minimum in A. Like if we're talking Fem Haomaru, I'm tempted to put it in S, but no. Just say in general Haomaru. Looked like an alright character. Wish I played more. I did have it. Wish I played it more. I don't even know if mine hit level 20. Because the swings are so slow feeling from what I remember, and I just did not jive with slow characters in this game. Moving along. Okay, so say hello to the first just truly does not work on the NA server character. Sorry, one second. Go Phantom or Ghost. I remember it being called Phantom, but we'll go with Ghost, sure. This is a character, like, visually very cool. Hang on, let me show Fem. Forgot to check. I think she looked more like the Grudge. Kinda. It's clearly like traditional, like, Korean garb. I think that's a hanbok. So maybe it's like going off of a urban legend or something, I don't know, but here's the character in-game. This character looks really cool, and I love the idea of, like, a vengeful ghost with claws. This shit don't work, dog. This shit don't work. It's a melee character, but it doesn't have a run. It has one of these dashes. And I think you can do it, yeah, you can go past characters, and that is really fast. Like, that's kind of scary looking. Really. Ghost got buffed, making the gauge usage less punishing and the air combos more accessible. Fascinating. Nobody, not a single soul on NA used this. Some people tried, but it never worked because the hold D mechanic doesn't work. You hold D to go into this ghost form, you get a targeting marker, and when you grab onto somebody with it, you can control them briefly. I'm half broken on Lost Saga. Yes, you are, Yomu. Is Yomu a ghost? Either way, you can control people, and then you can press attack to hard stun them. I don't remember a whole much after that. I know you have an air dasher, and I think the air dasher is decent. FK? Huh? Is the air dasher not an attack? Hang on. Let's get a regular sized human in here. Yomu is a half. Oh, okay. I see. Huh? Is this not an attack? I remember that being strong. Also, yes, their story is basically Saint got framed and murdered. Jealousy because thrown into sewer. Hate everyone and murdered entire village. So it is like a Korean, not idiom, but like story. Makes sense. Okay, so you do have a dash attack, I think. Air dash is just a dash that passes through. I guess I'm mixing this up with another character. I remember that air dasher hard stunning. I guess not. You have a two-hitter jumper. I don't like the screen shake when that lands. Okay. If you land the dasher, it faints, right? Yeah. It's very quick. Like, they fall to the ground pretty quickly. But it is a feint. And it looks like your basic string picks up. What happens if you land the last hit? Okay, your dash acts a little funky if you're dashing through somebody. Oh, dude, I love attacks that actually launch you into the air. Hang on. But then that doesn't go into much. This hero has uses because the dash through, and it's basically instant. That is kind of threatening. What happens if you land that in the air? I'll just go into it immediately. Okay, no, I can't do a hold D to save my life. Oh, you're right, you go into ghost form. Ah! I wonder what happens if I hit that in the air. Honing noobs in Lost Saga. Maybe like a decade ago, homeboy. Oh, it restands them in hard stuns. Fascinating. So you do have an air hold D. You do kind of have free flight while in ghost form, huh? I remember this lasting half as long. Interesting. I don't think there's much else to write home about here. It's a cool mechanic, like taking over somebody and doing that. Seems really cool. Just don't fall off yourself. Combo is dash through enemy and stab their back, basic attack, 2 air attack, and to possess and restand and repeat until gauge runs out. Yikes. So, yeah, okay, so you're gonna be... I'm facing him, right? So he'd be blocking this way. But I could go behind him. Okay, I see what you want me to do here. I don't have the wherewithal to actually pull it off, though. Oops. Wait, how do I land properly after that? I guess I gotta be careful with that. I'll try to land both. I'll give it one more try, and then we'll go on to the skills. Second hit didn't quite land there. Ah, whatever. I think we get the point here. So, I mean, it clearly has a gimmick, right? But this is the kind of character that if you play on a server that doesn't have lag, i.e. Korea, sure, this could be really fun and interesting. It just, the grab, like, nothing would happen if you connected this on NA. Nothing. It did not work on our server, sadly. Anyway, skills from left to right. You possess them and fall with them before letting go. Oh! So you can maybe, like, air dash out of it? Is that the kind of thing? Or are you fated to fall down with them? Either way, trinket from left to right. You throw out a butterfly that will then mark the target as a projectile. So if they're in the middle of their team, it'll keep hitting them, I think. Kind of fascinating. Also, hang on. I can just summon the robot buddies whenever I want. Sweet. Let's see what happens if, let's see what this looks like in a crowd. Wait, am I? Oh, yeah, they home in on other enemies, but it's not acting... it's not really hitting too well there. Alright. Either way, I assume it guard breaks. It doesn't really do much else for you. Like, you need it to be a team fight. If the server is kind, combo is possible. If there's more than 2 people, you're lucky you can possess someone. It just didn't work, like, whatsoever on NA, sadly. Helmet, I remember. You summon up a gravestone that summons ghosts that keep going out, and I remember them constantly refainting the target over and over and over again, so that's pretty strong. This is another one that I want to say is good in a crowd. In fact, I can... Hang on, I can show off much more easily here. What if I hit the trinket in here? Oh no, soccer! Get out of there, bro! Okay, what about the helmet? Okay, it'll just start picking random people. It does feint them. I don't know if you can block it or not. I assume you can, just with how many times it hits. And armor skill. I think you become a ghost, and it fears them. That's an armor skill that you'd want to swap with something else. I mean, it looks kind of cool. Yeah, like, this is pretty fast flight, but it's gimmicky. It's not good. And then weapon skill, I don't remember. Yeah, 0 chance that worked on NA either. I don't remember ever seeing that, so I don't think the weapon skill worked either. It looks cool. It looks exactly like Gumiho weapon skill, and Gumiho weapon skill also didn't work on NA. So that makes sense why I don't recognize this. I'm assuming that hits grounded as like a combo ender. Yeah, most grabs hit grounded, which is a shame that they don't work on our fucking server. Not that it matters when our server died 6 years ago. Anyway. Where do I put Ghost? I'm at a loss for words here, fellas. It's interesting. I think that's our next C tier, though. Like, the combo actually felt kind of good, but for it to actually be worth anything, you need to be able to tag them with your Wraith form to then get the hard stun, to then loop the combo string again. I might put it in D. I might put it in D, Matt. No, factoring the fact that the weapon skill is also broken, not just the whole D. What are you even playing this character for, man? Yeah, I think say hello to our first D-ranked character. And honestly, I think I was being pretty kind with some of these other characters. If it worked, that would be a interesting character to try out. It doesn't work, though. It just doesn't work. You know, the Todd Howard thing? Not that. It just doesn't work. I do have one thing to note about this character. Actually, no. It's a much later one. There was a Chinese Lost Saga exclusive character that I think we got under a different name and a different design. And that's a shame, because the Chinese Lost Saga design was magnifique. 100 out of 10, dude. And you'll know why as soon as you see it, but that might not even be tonight. I think it was called like Undead Brother or some shit like that on China, but it became Guimusa on NA. Yeah, not Guimusa. Huanma Gangxi or Huanma Jiangxi, something like that. Yeah, Huanma or whatever it was called. That thing on China looked so good, but unfortunately we never got it. Ooh, hey, you know, have you been feeling like there's too many melees in the game? Well, say hello to Sork, and say hello to Femsork, which is adorable. Here's another mage character, and another normal at that, so you don't gotta pay money for this one. I'm not sure if we ever got any premium mages, now that I think about it. Okay, moving on to Sorcerer. I never played this one, but I greatly respect this one. It's a mage, but... it's not any one element like all the mages we've seen so far. Sork is 3-in-1. So you have, like, I'll go over it again, and go over it every time, I don't mind. As a mage, you tend to have a 360 guard. It is timed. You have a double jump. You have a jump attack, and here's the thing. Depending on what button you press after your jump attack, I think your first hit does a little minor slow. Yeah, look at that. He can't run right now, I think. If I press attack afterwards, it'll do a fireball that leaves fire status. Fire status makes him stay on the ground longer. I mean, you can get a couple more of those out, right? What if I pressed guard? Well, then it does an icicle. What happens if I press jump? Well, then it does a blinding light thing. I forget what the property for light is in this game, because not a lot of characters have it. Right? So, as a mage, you don't really run, but Sork is unique in that you start charging up this projectile, right? Here's the thing, man. You can aim this, I'm pretty sure, by holding a direction. Or am I wrong? I swear I remember you being able to aim this thing. Maybe it's a different attack. I remember that being able to go up and down if you were pressing up and down. Either way, I'm pretty sure you can change the property of it. While you're charging it up, if you press attack, it becomes a fireball. You can charge the dash attack to increase the duration and temporarily control its direction. With hold D, thank you. Ah, that's what it was. Okay, so while the thing is out there, while your dasher projectile's out there, you can aim it with your hold D. I didn't realize that. That's cool. Could I make that whip around immediately? Whoa. You can also do it with guard to make an ice, which actually does freeze for a decent amount of time. And then I think this blinds your screen. I think the light magic might, like, actually epilepsy warning you. I can't remember off the top of my head. Whoa. That's cool. Okay, so 3-hit basics. I think 3rd hit launches, and I think you can loop it once more after that. Wait, no, 4-hit basics? Oh, 4-hit basics, and then the 4th one is, if you press attack, you do a fireball, which does fire status, as you see there. If you press guard, it'll do an ice attack, or maybe not, hang on. Yeah, it'll do an ice attack that'll lift, and maybe you can catch that? Yep. Wow, dude. That's pretty strong. It's the same properties as Ice Mage jump attack. If you land that, so it'll stand them back up off ground status. Light element is annoying because it's just a flashbang. Okay, I always wondered if there was more properties to it. There's a melee version of this guy, basically. Magic Swordsman. More on him probably next stream. Or a stream after that. And he does light magic as well, but it makes the enemy kind of floaty. They get like an extra floaty status. And when we get to Magic Swordsman, I'll also go over my hero design contest entry. I designed a character. We had a contest. The winner didn't actually get created, so there was no point in it. I'm still angry about that. I designed what was basically a gunner version of Sorcerer and Magic Swordsman. So you could do all 3 elements, depending on what button you press after certain inputs, and load in different like magic rounds. Anyway, I'll talk about that later, some other time. Moving on, let's see what the light version of that is. Same thing. Which probably just blinds their screen. This hero did have an infinite, combined with Assassin, Hold Deep Poison, and Space Trooper. Oh, gross. I'm assuming it's this, right? Probably has something to do with this. Because that lasts a while. But then it does knock them down, so I'm not sure. Either way, I think that's it for the character, but all things considered for a mage, that's a lot of variety. And if I were to ever be forced to play like a combat mage, not counting medic, right? Dude, Sork just seems fun. Oh, you know what? Like other characters, you can charge your hold D to decide where your weapon skill's gonna go. But you can also let go to do an attack. And it does hit grounded, I believe. And charging it up makes it hit more times, I believe. 3 instead of just 2 or 1. Yeah, 1. Dude, that's fucking strong, man. Because that also applies the slow debuff. I'm sure if you were a really good Sork, you'd be really annoying. No air hold D or anything, right? No. Okay. Alright, moving on to the skills. Your trinket is a weird one. It's kind of unique, but it's not strong enough. It doesn't last long enough. While you have that aura around you, it disables enemy skills. There's an entire character that does that much later on in the game. Arcanist. We'll get there eventually. But it doesn't last long enough, and it has a long cooldown, so I don't think this is worth it. Plus, I'm not even sure if it would disable recovery skills. Helmet, I am actually a big fan of. You fire out a bunch of hits, and they'll home in. I think it'll hit grounded, but don't quote me on that. Look at that. That's a lot of hits. I think they guard break, but they might not. It does not hit grounded. I remember hitting grounded back in the day. I could be mixing that up with another skill. Your armor, I think people used a lot. You gain you summon an orb that if you hit somebody, it does fall damage to them, and it brings them to you. If you got caught by this and you got warped to like the enemy's team, well, congrats, you're getting wailed on by like an entire team now. This thing's gnarly. Like even to this day, I'd say this is pretty strong. If I knew how to aim it, Jesus. It's a great armor skill. Like, I'd say the only bad skill here is probably the trinket. Swap the trinket for something. Hell, man, you get more mileage. I'm surprised that didn't hit. You get more mileage out of just having an arc cape on. I used that on my Dark Shaman, good for edging. Devilish. Alone, so devilish. I can't hit anything to save my life. Hang on. Get over here, Dev K. Bye-bye. And if I didn't edge him, well, this probably would. That's a crazy armor skill. Like, again, I think that's decent for this day as well. Weapon skill. You go into a stance like this, and depending on what button you press, it will change what happens. Fireball just fires down, or attack just rains down 3 fireballs. Does do fire debuff. Freeze. Oh, wait. You actually change. Oh, you cycle by pressing guard, it looks like. And then you fire by pressing attack. Freeze will actually freeze them in place, and as you know, freeze in this game is pretty gnarly. Normally I can't hurt him, but anything that guard breaks will hurt him, like this, for example. I wouldn't waste my armor skill on someone like that, though. It depends on the situation, I guess. And then lastly, I think this hard stuns and flashbangs them, like your screen is pure white for a second. Guys, is this the first, like... Hang on, what are the other mages ranked at? Let's see. Sorcerer. That's at least an A, but I'm gonna be real with you, dog. I think that's, not counting medic, the first S-rank mage. I would play that character. Like, back then I didn't like playing mages or, like, people without, like, jump cancels. Like, I liked Fencer, you know, I liked Zoro. I liked Destroyer. I guess I didn't have the patience to learn a mage, but Sork, that's an easy S for me, dog. That's so much utility. I think he could probably even still hold his ground today if you don't factor in all of the crazy unique bullshit. Anyway, moving on. And I'm gonna go back to the Lost Saga music. Give me the main theme. It's been a little while. Okay, next up is another character I can't show off. Mai Shiranui. Or rather, this is Rule 63, Mai Shiranui. Male Shiranui. You know Mai Shiranui, dude. Come on, I think everyone knows Mai. Famously, I think in the the recent re-release of the Capcom fighting games, they censored her jiggle. I think they covered her up. A thumbs down from me, Capcom. Phenomenal. What more needs to be said? Hang on. What more needs to be said? It's an easy S tier. Some people prefer this than Ice Mage because the freeze on the skill lasts longer. You're telling me he outright beats Ice Mage? That's crazy. Mai's the best input character. There is no contest. I never learned Mai, but we can take a gander here. I did have Mai. You have a bunch of interesting inputs, and your air dasher... So you had an air hold D where you kind of like... If you hit somebody, they'll get slammed, and it'll do a ground bounce, I think. But here's the thing. You had a dasher in the air. Let's see the model here. You had a dasher in the air that you could then follow up with the hold D. So from off-screen, a flying Mai could just get yeeted over to you. Bam, your ground bounce. Bam, you're eating a combo now. Also, yeah, for some reason the skin tone doesn't show properly here. It's just repeating the texture again. Whatever, that's fine. You have, like... I think you do, like, a fiery... Oh, whoops. Was that not on screen? Whoops. This is what I meant to show off. My bad. Did you ever look at the meme I brought up earlier? I did not. You know what? We'll pull that up right now, even. Problem is my computer's just so slow. I'm assuming you put it on the Discord? Oh my god. Did you post this when we were talking about, not Arcanist, but just meta in general? Hang on, I'm gonna make this easier on me and I'm just gonna showcase it over here. Fox versus Meta Mario. TKM helmet and Arcanist robe. I don't know if there's anything on the trinket. Oh, our cape. Our cape. Yeah, that's our cape right there. Thank you for that. If you have any other things to share, go for it. Oops, ignore that. Oh, and Card Magician. Yeah. The only character that nerfs everyone on field by restricting everyone to go only one hand. Excuse me? That took a second to... Okay, anyway, moving along. My Shiranui, again, not one I can show off because it's a premium. I can't think of any prominent videos that showcase it. I mean, I guess we can just look up, like, Lost Saga Mai versus. We'll see if there's any Mai mains out there. Not Rebirth, preferably. I want to see, like, some KLS gameplay. Mai and Iori versus... I don't know who that is, actually. Let's see. I liked Habibi's channel, actually. There's a lot of good gameplay, a lot of good fights on here. Oi. How do I get this back? Get that out of here. So that's what I'm talking about. That air dasher right there is gnarly. And then when he gets ground status, he just immediately goes into an Iori combo. There's a Mai combo. There it goes. Immediately into Iori. Into Mai. Disgusting. That's gross, dude. I think this is before premiums had limiters. Like I said earlier, you could just infinitely spam your inputs. It was disgusting. Point proven. Even... Okay, look. Design-wise, Mai is an S. Gameplay-wise, Mai is an S. So, I think this is deserved. I don't even know if people were that good with her on NA. I just remember them spamming that air dasher into air hold D all the time. All the time, just because of how free it was. Okay, who's up next? After Mai Shiranui is Zhuge Liang. This is the first rare character in the game. So there are categories: normal, premium, rare, and unique. Normal characters you can unlock just by leveling up, and you can buy them timed, so you can play as them just by leveling up and playing, right? Premium, you have to pay for them. They're licensed characters from other IP. Rare are another beast altogether, and I will try to explain now. Okay. So in this game, we have gear, right? So if I wanted to, I could put on this chain mage armor on my smile jester. And considering it's purple, it actually looks kind of fitting, right? Or, well, not, you know, it looks kind of nice anyway. Well, back in the day when this armor first came out, there wasn't a chain mage. So what they'll do is, in fact, I have something, well, actually, I can just go into the shop and we can go to the permanent gear chest here. We'll go into the armor and we'll just scroll all the way. This is going to take a while. Sorry, boys. It's going to take a while. There we go. So you're going to see here names that you recognize. Muay Thai, Witch. So these are all the armors in the game, right? Here's the normal characters. But then on top of that, we had these here. School uniform, priest robe is a callback, maid costume is a callback, etc. There were gear in the game that weren't... there weren't characters that used that gear. That's a strange way of wording it. It was just the armor, the helmet, and the trinket for a while, right? But then eventually... Like, hang on. I think the gear was Zhuge trinket? It's like an instrument. I forget what it's called. Maybe not. I can't... Oh, yeah. The Chinese loot here. So they made... I'm wording this incorrectly. Let's just... let me actually move on to the character to show you now. So we're going to our first rare character. These characters are based... Fuck, I forgot school uniform. Yeah. Let's see. Zhuge Liang. He's a bad example, but you couldn't normally get him through gameplay. You would have to buy him, but you would recognize the armor and whatnot because those existed before the character did. So it's kind of like they're designing a character without releasing the actual weapon and the character yet. Just the armor, the helmet, and the trinket. I don't know why I can't describe this very well, but maybe you understand what I mean. So long before Zhuge Liang existed, we had this armor skill, and it was just as useless back then as it is now. Right? Yeah, I remember Zhuge Liang helmet. Yeah, dude, this would be a menace on OGP. Or at least that's how I remember it being anyway. So they took these rare armor sets and they turned them into a hero. That's what I'm trying to say this whole time. Either way, meet Zhuge Liang, the first rare character. He's a mage, and his weapon is a fan. I gear designed mine to look like a bunch of leaves. So in fact, I could probably find you a picture of mine later. So here you go. Zhuge Liang is Kunming. I don't know anything about Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Sorry. But if you recognize this look, it's that guy. Yeah. You could also just call him Wind Mage, I guess, because that's generally what he is. You have 3 hit basics that fire piercing projectiles. The only character that... Oh, hang on. Also, the only one with an Evo. Yes, they did give this guy an Evo to make him more viable. Surprisingly, they didn't do that for the other ones. I'm not sure why. Either way, as a mage, you have 360 guard. You have a double jump. Pretty standard stuff so far, yeah. Instead of dashing, you have an attack. On him, it's a launcher, and I think you can loop it twice and then also get your 3 hit out. That is yeeting in a really weird way. Let's see. Other than Trinket, all of Zhuge Liang can be Evo. I'm having trouble here. He's getting launched in weird ways. Maybe only one launcher. Yeah, there we go. Well, I kind of fucked it up, but you see what I'm going for there. You do have a jump attack. Warning. 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 This was an infinite back in the day. They immediately get picked up now. Back in the day, you could just, as easy as goddamn pie, just reposition yourself with a jump attack, and you could... Yeah, this was an infinite. Disgusting, I know. I would only do it on scumbags, don't worry. So, again, warning. That was an infinite back in the day. Non-Evo used to have infinite with white wings. I don't even think you needed wings, dog, because I had a Zhuge Liang way back when. My knowledge of Romance of the Three Kingdoms comes almost entirely from Dynasty Warriors. I know some of it from, like, manhwas, and my favorite character from .hack Alcade is a big Romance of the Three Kingdoms buff. Anyway, moving on, like mages, when you hold your D key, you can aim your weapon skill. You can aim his in a really unique way, more on that later. They gave this guy an evolution that you can always aim and fire out a free tornado. So imagine one of his weapon skill tornadoes. I'll show that off in just a little bit, but you get that for free, I'm pretty sure. Maybe there's a passive, I'm not, don't quote me on that. Either way, moving on to skills from left to right. I've already kind of showed them all off, though. The trinket, you can't aim backwards. It's like auto-scrolling to the right, but you aim down, you rain down arrows that give fire debuff. I think if you launch someone in just the right way, you can have them get caught mid-air by every single volley of arrows. I remember that being a thing. Helmet will just cause a gust of wind that yeets them. Back in the day, that was really gnarly in a crowd of people. And armor skill gives you a tornado you can aim, and it just knocks them around. It doesn't even, like... They can still act out of it, I think, so it's just not a good armor skill. It does have an evolution. I don't remember how the evolution changes it. Same with the helmet. The helmet also has an evolution. Here's the real shit with Zhuge Liang, though. When you activate your weapon skill, you can mark up to, I think, 5 locations, and you will get guard-breaking, hard-stunning tornadoes in that direction. And I think you can even carry the target with you. I thought you could carry him, but I don't remember how that would work. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. No, because, yeah, okay, I thought you could hit with multiple tornadoes. Maybe not. Either way, from this far, I imagine I can hit. Look at the range, dog! That's insane. To this day, that's insane. It doesn't do a whole lot, but if you suddenly find yourself hard stunned in the middle of a team fight, bye-bye. Hope you have a recovery skill. Has a counter, if I remember. IDK if it's from Reform or Evo. I think it's from Reform. You know what? Thank you for reminding me. Let's go ahead and get our robot buddies. He does like a... I think it's the Desert Blader helmet animation. It just knocks back a little bit. I think the giant robot hitbox, the ogre hitbox, is not helping me out here. No recoveries or anything to write home about there, by the way. Of course, they give me 3 ogres. Can I get, like, a normal-sized person? Thank you. Ah! It just knocks him back. But still, a mage with a counterattack, man. What a concept. I think that's going to do it for Zhuge Liang. Mages are generally simple. I mean, Sork earlier was not, so... It's an exception to the rule, though. Alright, Zhuge Liang. I'm gonna put him in A, bro. I liked him. I liked one mage. And hang on. If you will give me just a moment, I will find you a screenshot of my Zhuge Liang. I need to scroll all the way down to when the server closed, and then I took screenshots of every single one of my characters before everything went away. The problem is, dude, do you want to know how many screenshots I have? 18,360 screenshots. I don't know why I'm like this, but if you give me a screenshot button, I'm gonna want to capture memories, and I don't know why this is the case, but it is the case. Looking for it now. I found my Mai Shiranui. Again, I didn't really use her much, but we saw Mai earlier. There's my Mai. My. That's a rhythm game, actually. Oh, we saw Savage Berserker a long time ago, right? Here's my Savage Berserker. You might not get the reference because it's kind of esoteric, but that's supposed to be Providence from Risk of Rain 1, the final boss of Risk of Rain 1. Anyway, I'm looking specifically for my Zhuge Liang here so we can move on. Give me just a moment. I believe I have at least one screenshot of everybody. I know this music is a volcano. Getting edged on this map was awful. You can get bounced up by the fire constantly. Feels bad, man. I found my... Oh, I wanted to show off my Chaos Dahlia as well. More on that in a moment. Sorry, I had 93 characters. It's going to take me a little while here. I found Mimique. You probably know Mimique. Found my cowgirl. Found Chizuru. I took way too many screenshots of Chizuru. You want to see my rock star? Have we showcased Femme Zhuge Liang? We have not. Thank you, Yomu. That takes way more of a priority. Here's Femme Zhuge Liang. Femme Kongming. Actually, not bad. In fact, hang on. You aren't getting the full thing here due to chat. There you go. I did not remember that's what she looked like. Okay, so I wanted to show off what my characters look like as we went over the character, but this was like, I didn't use my Wind Mage a whole lot. I didn't use my whole Zhuge Liang a lot. Found my Patriot, found my Druid, found Medi, found Zayla. Okay, I think I must have missed it. I know there's a screenshot of her in here. Okay, I can't find it, but I made the fan out of leaves, and I gave her a druid aesthetic as well, because of course I did. Again, MMOs.com podcast. Get out of here. Give me my music. I was once told that I had a tree fetish, and I did not know how to respond to that. If it's not here, then I just won't be able to find it. Okay, it's not here. Alright, moving on. Zhuge Liang is graded. Again, that's our first rare character. That doesn't mean that you couldn't earn them through events and stuff, but generally, you had to pay for them, rare characters, and they're based off previous existing armor sets. Speaking of which, here's our second rare character, a ranged. Or actually, no, he counts as magic. I thought he counted as ranged. Here's Chi Master, or Force Master. Here's male, here's female. And let's go ahead and show it off. I don't know why I keep thinking that I own the character. Chi Master. Here we go. Femme Chi Master is so cute. Agree. So, 3-hit basics. I want to say you can jump cancel. Maybe not. You can jump cancel the last hit, it feels. Kinda. Or at least the animation is so short, it feels like a jump cancel. Okay, here's your weapon. He's like... Is that what Marissa fires a Master Spark out of, Yomu? Something kind of like that. It's called like a Hakero or something. I could be wrong. Either way, that's your weapon. You're a magic character, but you can run, which is a rarity. I didn't even know you counted as a magic character. I thought this counted as a ranged. Either way, 3-hit basics. 3rd hit hard stuns. It does not pick up off hard stun. See if the dasher picks up. The dasher does. With some decent knockback. So, the reason why I thought you were a range is because you get a ranged aiming reticule. Right? So you have a meter, but you can fire out like up to 3 of these, I think. I remember back in the day it was 5, and it might be 5 with the armor skill. But when you hold D again, any orbs out will then go back to you, I think. So it's really annoying. You'd block it the front way, but then you wouldn't block it on the way back. Kind of like that. See what I mean? Oh no, I'm thinking of Soul Master. Never mind. This guy wishes he was Soul Master. Let's see. No hold D dasher. You do have an air dash, but it's just a mobility option, by the way. It looks kind of cool, though. You're running in the air. I believe if you hit with 2 orbs, it just knocks down. It's not a feint or anything. Yeah, it just knocks down. But, I mean, when you're knocked down, they could swap to another character, get a combo, that kind of thing. I don't think there's a whole lot else to talk about, except that I'm pretty sure the range is crazy. The range is crazy. The range is crazy. The range is crazy. Okay, looks like that's about your max range. That's nuts, dude. Chi Master had highs and lows. He had a golden age where orbs can hit grounded, and you basically get an infinite pickup up infinite. Picked up enemies when the same orb hits the opponent twice because explosion. I remember that. Yeah, I don't remember it hitting grounded. I remember it hitting them as they were standing back up again. Let me knock down and see. So does it not hit at all, even on the way back up? Yeah, that would have hit, and you would have like hit them like 2 or 3 more times. I never really understood how to do it, but it was very annoying. Looks like it's just kind of a dead character then. I mean, the range is crazy. It's all shits and giggles till Chi Master hits you with the Love Sign Master Spark. 2 of them at that. Okay. Either way, skills from left to right. Dual Sphere just gets guard-breaking orbs around you that I think send enemies away. This is a really... Like, the first couple of rare characters in the game are based off some of the oldest gear in the game as well. Like, Chi Master Orb, you can see how shitty it is. It's because it's really old, right? Same with Zhuge Liang armor. It's really old, so... That might explain away why it's so bad. Let's see. I believe some of these have evolutions. The Trinket can be evolved, and it just gives you 3 orbs. It may ground bounce, I'm not sure. All of his gear can be evolved. Okay. Your helmet is a projectile you can aim. You can even aim it up and down. It just hits. I don't remember if the Evo does fall damage or what, but you can aim it up and down. The armor is really cool, if I'm remembering right. Yep. Oh, you don't have to mash for this? Am I thinking of... I don't know what armor skill I'm thinking of, but... You let this Spirit Bomb charge up. It grows in size and in knockback. I imagine the evolution makes it better, because right now it doesn't do a whole lot. It looks really cool, though. I've liked this, dude, since I was like 13, I think. That's how old the original iteration of Lost Saga is. Originally came out in like, what, 09 or something? Yeah, I would have been like 13. The way it works is the orb will always explode when touched the second time, so if you time it, you can easily lift off grounded before swapping into air attack heroes and repeat. Gross. And your weapon skill is just a shotgun of your orbs that you can control, like I just showcased there. Let's go ahead and reset that. And you can mark the target, and if it could still hit grounded targets, then all of them would converge on him, but apparently that's not a thing anymore. Probably for the best. Oh, and you also have a super jump. That's why I remember this guy being a ranged. He feels way more like a ranged character than a mage. Maybe that's just a miscategorization on Lost Saga XYZ. Either way, it's time to be graded, Chi Master. I think Homeboy is a B. Maybe now post-nerf, I think he might even be a C. The utility of having that kind of range is nice, but I feel like there's not a whole lot you can do if they took away his ground hits, so... No, I'm being too nice, man. I'm being too nice. I think Homeboy's a C. He's not down there with... Though maybe he should be. He's not down there with Ghost. I think he's a C. Maybe if they evolved him and made him more viable that way, but I think the general thought process for the developers is this. Release new... Okay, we have a ton of characters. Release new character. New character is so good, everybody needs him to stay viable. Nerf old character, so people want new character. That kind of thing. Sadly. I don't know when that became the case, but that's what it feels like anyway. Evolved armor is a good air recovery. That sounds nice. Because I tried doing it here, but you can't do it in the air. Oh, hey, you can do your weapon skill in the air. There's another reason to like him. He's not D rank. I think C is pretty kind. All right, moving on. After Chi Master is Yumi Ra. I'm surprised Yumi Ra came first. I thought it would have been Jin Mori. So, has anyone here... Let me just go ahead and look it up, actually. I'm worried about what might pop up. I do have safe search on, but you never know. God of High School. Does anybody know the manhwa? And it did get an anime adaptation. Does anybody know God of High School? It's a Korean comic, a manhwa. And Lost Saga has 3 characters from it. The first one being Yumi Ra. Really weird. I don't remember Yumi Ra being so early. Maybe we got her at a different time on the NA server. God of High School Yumira. Since I'm Googling a female character, I'm worried that pornography may pop up, so we're just gonna search that. That looks like an Arc Knight's character. I don't know what that is. Okay, here's Yumira from the anime. It got a mid-anime adaptation, yes. I read about 100 chapters of it back in the Lost Saga days. I never watched the anime. Unfortunate that it was a mid-adaptation. I feel like a lot of manhwas that do get an adaptation end up getting a mid one for some reason. Noblesse, I don't know if Noblesse got a full 12-episode anime, but I know it had an OVA that wasn't too good. Either way, Yumira. I cannot show her because, well, premium character. But this was a cool character that had a built-in install, kind of. Here's the fem version. Lest I forget. I'll see if Takuya has a video on her. I think we owe her at least that much. Yumira. Oh, he's playing Yumira here. Oh my god, what is he recording with? They're playing on the Korean server here. Is Homeboy fighting an Ice Mage? There's the counterattack. It's 3-hit basics. When your meter fills up, you go into another form. Nah, we need a better video than this. Let's see. Her transformation has Viking damage and basically instant counter. It fucking hurts. I regret not using mine, dude. She was so cool. Hang on, let's stop the music.
Based on a girl, but I'm a guy right now, so whatever. It's from God of High School, manhwa. You know,
yeah.
I'm not familiar with any of that, so I'm just gonna go into what the character does. So 3-hit basic.
3rd-hit feints? Oh no, half feints.
And you can probably do some stuff off that. Hold D. This works as
Hold D does feint.
Stun.
Yeah.
And you can do this.
But if your meter's full, you go into your install form.
Let me swap real quick. Bam, like so.
Oh, I don't remember that launching if you do it twice in a row.
Dash attack. There's your first part that works as a half feint. Second part is
dude, I regret not keeping my Yumira.
So
I think that's another one that I got rid of. Or if not, then I just didn't use her.
Shortcut to doing your launcher.
Oh my god, so crusty video feed, Takuya.
Quick little dasher and get an easy launcher like that. So jump attacks, like so.
Half feinter.
A little half feint, but you cannot control this in the air like you could with a gladiator. So it's not controllable in the air.
Oh, I don't like when you can't aim
and you have
jump
a
attacks.
Hold D jump attack too. So like
ground
that,
here.
and it works as a half feint, and it also works as a ground hit. Kind of think like a exorcist kind of hold D.
Oh my god, exorcist.
In a way, just without the little stun if they're standing. So yeah, that's his basic attacks. Let's go check out our defensive capabilities on our robot friends.
Does have a counter.
Hopefully a dwarf because they're easy to bully. We'll go with an ogre. Why not? We're feeling a little bit brave today. So that's our counter. We can do a little jump attack on that and knock 'em right.
I didn't know that actually.
It's a half feint counter. We also have a defensive capability with our helmet, and that works as a half feint counter as well.
I think it just is long knockback.
We'll get into our second form now.
This is what I wanted to show off here. This is what made Yumira really cool. And I think she's fighting with like a wooden sword, which I also kind of like.
Redo everything here. As you can see down there, we have a 35 bar passive. It charged up no matter what I was doing, so it does charge up if you're attacking or getting attacked.
I think you even have a built-in ground recovery when you're in your transformation.
It does go completely away if you swap characters, so try not to swap in order to...
what, DW3? What is that, Yomu?
Let's swap into it. There we go. We transformed into our form, and we threw our wooden sword at Dev K and stunned him for a good little bit, and we grew antennas on our head.
I never liked the like bug antenna that you get, but
and let's check out our
let's see.
So 3-hit basic.
Very fast.
3rd hit.
Oh, Dynasty Warriors 3.
Stun.
Thank you.
And it also lifts off ground. So it's a really nice, really fast.
It's not even so
attack.
When you're in a transformation like this, if it's one like. You know how I said before that when you run out of HP, your armor starts falling off? If you're in a transformation like this, or Werewolf, or Druid, we haven't seen Druid yet, then it'll actually just take your meter away first, giving you almost effectively like a little more HP.
Dash attack. There's the first part, it's a half feint. There's the second part,
It's a launcher.
flip kick launcher. You can go straight into the flip kick launcher by holding D. Kind of mirrors the default form. And our jump
Oh,
attack,
the jump attack is like you throw like seeds or something, right?
there's one hit.
Yeah, or
it half
rocks.
feints.
It goes up to 4
There's
times.
2 hits, it completely feints. This is controllable in the air, unlike the default jump attacks. And you can just hit 4 in a row, and this also hits grounded. So,
All right, good night,
didn't
Yomu.
do too good of a job hitting grounded there, like so.
Her basic attack is fine even in install, but the problem comes from the install air attack that not only ground hits, but hits a lot, combined with Viking damage, and you
It's a
delete
really
enemy
nice jump
HP.
attack.
I wish I knew that she had
Really
Viking
want to
damage
see
back
it
then,
too.
bro.
And also to point out about this form, you can see our skills are just completely uncharged or completely charged and not blinking. That's because we can't use our skills.
I don't remember
Also,
them.
we cannot swap in this form. So
I
you
don't
can't
remember
swap
being stuck
and
in
you
the
can't use
form.
your skills.
I guess there has to be some
That's
kind of downside, huh?
Prerequisites to this form, or the limitations. So let's check out our defensive capabilities real quick.
I want to
before
see
we
that
go
lightning
through-
fast
actually,
counter,
you know
then we'll
what,
move
let's
on.
Check out our, let's check out our defensive capabilities.
Make up your mind, Takuya.
So real quick, there's our counter.
That's
So
like
lightning fast
instantaneous,
counter that
bro.
Completely stuns and knocks someone down, and you can juggle off that and do some stuff. Let's also get knocked down here.
Good luck. Good
As you
luck.
can see, we're also getting hit, and the robot knocks down our passive. So real quick, don't knock me out of it. We also have
Yeah, you can just dash or roll off the ground while you're in your meter. That's crazy. I can briefly show off skills while we're here.
special passive using meter kind of move. So let's do our whole D.
What does the
you know
whole
what,
D
let's
do?
use our half D. That uses less meter. So half D, it's a little 3-hit combo that does
Oh,
feint.
I don't remember
It's a
that,
really
dude.
Nice half D move, and I guess it's a pretty nice weapon skill. It's stun a lot of people, and as you can see,
All I remember
meter
about the weapon
charges,
skill is that you do a bunch of slashes and it
we're gonna
causes
use it
them
how
to
we
like,
use our skills.
I don't know, their
So weapon
spines
skill,
break for a couple of seconds.
as you can see there, it cuts
Yeah.
through people. You can control the directions you go. Armor, this is one of the coolest armors ever. Look at this. Bam. Snap
That
someone's
shit, I
neck,
don't think that worked on
cut
NA,
behind
Takuya.
someone and snap their neck. Let's just zoom in on this.
XP recorded?
Ooh.
Mine reminded of existence of Lubu drinking Pepsi. I will see you. I don't know tomorrow if there ain't a bonus stream today. Prismia is on vacation, so I'll be streaming some stuff with Matt tomorrow. We're gonna do Spelunky 2. We're gonna do. I'm not entirely sure yet. I need to confirm with him actually, but it'll be me and Matt at the very minimum, since Prismia is not around.
Brutal. That's so brutal. So that's
All right. I already know my verdict. This character was awesome. I didn't play it enough. I regret that. This is an S tier, bro. God of High School. Let's go into some more music. What's a good playlist? Fly FF? Latale? Latale had some good music, right? That was another game that OG Planet ran for a bit. All right, we're just gonna have this on shuffle. Boy, with current progress, how long till we reach our first unique? Forever. All right, look, I'm having fun, okay? And actually, hang on. Nah, we need better music because this is fucking Lucifer. This is one of the coolest characters that I really regret not playing. Give me the main theme. Alright, buckle up, boys. Next character is Lucifer. In fact, Yomu left at the worst time, because Lucifer is badass as hell, bro. Here's Fem Lucy. Damn. That's pretty good. Why is there so much heroes in this game, bro? I love it. I wish it was still around. If this game was still around, I would still be playing it just as much as I was back then. And I played an unhealthy amount of this. Either way, moving on. Lucifer, another melee character. I feel like we went a little while there without melees, not counting Ymira. Alright, Lucy, it's a normal character. I mean, you can just unlock it by playing. Kinda, right? You know, you still have to pay for it with GP, etc. General, we're looking for Lucifer. There we go. Badass as hell. I used this character a decent bit. It was only a week long, right? We had a week-long beta of the Papaya Play server back in like 2020, 2021. So I did get to use this character. You're a melee, so you have a run. It's a pretty slow run. You have 3 hit basics. 3rd hit bounces. You can pick that up at least twice. The second time you loop that will do a hard bounce further away from you. You have a really cool jump attack. You'll grab somebody and slam them to the ground. And one of the best things about this is a grab that worked on the NA server 9 out of 10 times. 1 out of 10 times it wouldn't work. It is what it is. At least it worked most of the time. Way more could be said than Pro Wrestler or what's his name? Ghost. Bam. Since your jump attack does ground bounce, you can pick up with your basic string. You do have a dash string. It's a 4-hitter that ends in a launcher. That I believe you can then just easily go into a jump attack. Already, man, the character just feels so good to play. Do you have a hold D dasher? You do. It puts you into your flight form, which I think is your hold D. Although, it doesn't give me back my meter then. When your meter bar is at least yellow, you can hold D to go into flight form. Okay, I thought you fired out a projectile right off the bat. The amount of money they would have if they just had one big global server, yes, but we would need a way to region lock our rooms. Because, look, man, it's a fighting game. You just can't have lag in a fighting game. I want to say that's part of the reason why this game died the many times it has. And it is pretty niche, for that matter. So either way, when you're in your flight mode, you're very quickly draining your passive bar, but you get a targeting reticule. When you press D, you'll fire out a chain or something, a tether. You'll pull the target towards you, and then you can go into your jump attack. Or it actually goes into like a slam, like your jump attack, I mean to say. Here's a fun trick with Lucifer. If you use your hold D in front of your enemy, the game will count it as you successfully pulling the enemy toward you and make Lucifer do the follow-up grab. If you use your hold D in front of your enemy... In front. Maybe we need a human body here. Hold D in front of your enemy. I don't know why it's just putting me into flight form. I must be missing something here. Either way, while you're in your flight form... I mean, well, you have free flight. And I'm not sure if you can hold D in the middle of the dasher string to go into flight. It looks like you can. Kind of fucking up my timing here. Why is this useful? Imagine the enemy blocking the throw, expecting to block one attack. So you're saying like grab and then hold D? I mean, it would have to be a blocking target, right? I'm not really sure what you mean. It's kind of hard to pull off here, but I'll take your word for it. Let's see. Oh, another thing of note is you have a dasher. You know how I said Mai Shiranui had a dasher that she could follow up with a hold D for a good ground bounce? It's basically the same feel here, except you're going into your grab. Oh, and you can hit with the stab, and then get the grab. It's gonna be hard on Dev K though, so we'll just go back to Cyborg over here. There we go. Bye-bye. Just this has such a fun loop. I regret not playing this back on the OG server, and I wish we had more time for me to play this on the Papaya Play version. The hold D has 2 attacks. The spear throw that pulls the enemy, then the grab. It's basically forcing the enemy to block. 1 attack only to be grabbed after. Ah, okay, so that chain counts as an attack, but it also counts as a grab if you're right in front of them? Again, that's not something I can showcase here, but still. I don't know what more to say, man. I think if you get 2 air dashers in a row, it knocks down. There might be too much of an end delay for it. No, yeah, it's a knockdown. When you're in flight mode, I wonder if you can grab multiple people. I think that might just be the weapon skill. Let me sate my curiosity. Yeah, you can only grab one person. But I think the slam might also hit other enemies. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of the weapon skill. You can grab multiple people if they're close enough. Oh my god, I just grabbed 4 people. Holy shit. Is that why the weapon skill's so crazy? Because it pulls in multiple people? Either way, let's get rid of all those people, causing my lag to spike. Alright, moving on to the skills. Trinket, you get Flight. It guard breaks, it does a slow debuff, and if you hit back to back, I believe you can kind of just, like, carry them for a bit. If it is blockable, it'd be tricky to block with how fast they are, but I think it is guard breaking. I remember it lasting longer, but it could have taken a nerf. Helmet skill. So this gives you chip damage on block. I believe there's no chip damage otherwise. So it's insane. If you put the Halo on Mafia, you know, the dual gun character that has crazy pressure and can shoot a bunch, that's a lot of chip damage, man. I will admit, my Mafia had Lucifer Halo. Is it shitty of me? Maybe. We talked about Death Knight armor already quite a while ago. This is basically Death Knight armor, but it holds them in place instead of bringing them to you. Let's go ahead and slam them on the ground there. It will hit grounded. Perfectly puts them like that. Can you jump cancel the 3rd hit if you're basic? Kinda. Hang on. I thought I could maybe do something cool there, but maybe not. Either way, it will hit multiple targets. I want to say at least 5. Try that one more time. Yep. It doesn't last a long time, but the fact that it hits grounded is cool. They just nerfed the Mafia plus Lucifer Halo. Really? Well, if they just nerfed it, that was 10 years. 10 years of Mafia Lucifer Halo shenanigans. Alright, and then weapon skill. Throws out chains, pulls you know, all the enemies that it hits in, and then you can grab. Hang on, let's do this with just Dev K. And then it perfectly puts them right in front of you to do your air grab. And then on the slam, maybe a 3-hit basic, maybe an air dasher at the end, that kind of thing. Dude, this is a fun as fuck character. Annoying, right? But you could be kind of, you could, not even kind of, you could be very tricky. I'm putting Lucy in S. And really should be, and I wish I played more, but I did get to at least play it a bit on the Papaya Play week-long beta test. I think that's one of the easiest S's I've given out so far. I like Lucy. Okay, give me a moment. We'll go back to Lilithale OST. Ooh, I like this one. Alright, next hero is Kyo Kusanagi. I think... Oh, I have a video to share. I have a video to share about this one. It's a goofy video, but I want to play it anyway. It's a shame Yomu left, because I don't know. I like the video. It has a song that hopefully will not get me copyright struck. We'll find out when we get there. Lucifer Infant is basic attack into dash D and repeat until you failed it. Wow. I'm surprised they didn't immediately nerf that. Then again, some infinites were in the game for a while. Chaos Dahlia Infinite, Zhuge Liang Infinite, Destroyer Infinite, etc. Either way, Kyo Kusanagi. Here's male, here's female. Pretty badass. I'm gonna pull up a video now. Rising Omega Kyo? No. Welcome to Lost Saga. Alright. This guy quit Lost Saga. It's been 9 years. Damn, dude. I've immediately aged 9 years just now. I am looking for his Kyo video. I really like his Kyo. Homeboy played Grand Chase, dude. I should have been friends with this guy. Let's see. Kyo. It's called like Kyo Makes People Timber. Yeah. It's a goofy video. It's a goofy video, but I really like this. You're gonna see a lot of what Kyo has to offer here. It's not high-level gameplay by any means, but it's one of my favorite Lost Saga videos, so we're just gonna watch it for a bit. I wish this guy did more Lost Saga content. So you're gonna see some examples of Kyo inputs here. Eventually. Yeah, here we go. Feels like a waste going for weapon skill there. That big wind-up punch is a guard breaker, I believe. The most friendly input heroes in the game. Friendly in what way? Like, easy to learn? Or he's just not incredibly toxic like Iori and Mai Shiranui? Hang on, there's a part here that I remember goes on for a while where they show the pressure. Yeah, I think it's right here, actually, the next scene. I think right here. Look at this disgusting shit. Yep. Honestly, that dude, for not dropping the block there, he got hit a bunch of times, right? But he didn't, you know, he still blocked it. Oh, you have a dash input as well. I think most of the premiums had that too. The ones that had inputs anyway. But that right there, that's like the one thing. And we didn't have a meter back then, so you could just spam that forever. Everyone needs insane learning curving. Kill, you only need like 2 inputs and that's about it. Yeah, I think so. Alright, I don't want to get copyright struck. I don't remember much else. It's the armor skill. Oh, dude, I haven't seen that map in forever. He has fire debuff built into him, right? I think so did Iori. Yeah, there's not much to it after that. Ragna armor. Dude, the pressure is disgusting. Now you have a max meter of 15, so you can't do that 100 times in a row. You could do it at max 15 times, which is still really scary. Either way, thank you. That was Kyo Kusanagi. I don't have much else to add to that. Yeah, no, just that one punch that you could input over and over and over again. I think Kyo is an easy A. Honestly, maybe even every input character should be an S, but I think we'll just go with an A. It's a premium, so I can't show him off personally, sadly, but yeah. Iori Flame does not inflict burn. Huh, but Kyo does, yes? Interesting. I thought Iori does like a purple version of burn. I guess not. I guess it'd be way more toxic if he did. Okay. Either way, moving along. Again, it's a hard character to judge when I can't personally show it, but let's see. Up next, Desperado. Kyo and Mai do, just not Iori. Okay. Damn. Desperado, a badass character, another dual gunner. And also, Femme Desperado was another one they used on a lot of the promotional material. And I understand why. So, this is a normal ranged character. I feel like this is the first ranged character, maybe even tonight, we've seen. Let's see. Oi. Help me. I think we're on to the next page already. So, first and foremost, I never learned this character. Here's the gear in game. It's a ranged character that has a run, though, which is kind of unique. I can't think of very many else that have that. You have 20 shots max. You have a 3-hit basic or 4-hit basic. 4th hit will put you airborne, I believe. Yeah. And then you also have a jumper that also makes you airborne. I really wanted to learn this character because it looks like Fencer. Do you know what I mean by that? Like, this is just Fencer Air D. And I'll show off right now. That is just Fencer Air D. It doesn't make you as agile as Fencer does, but it's like almost the same animation even. Let's go back to... Where's he at? Desperado. Desperado is what I call a burst hero, similar to Medic and Viking. You only use him if you want to dish damage. Is that why people end their combos by going into him and getting a couple shots? I've seen that before. You can do that twice in a row. Hang on, wait. This might be the next addition to I Wish I Played More. I didn't like this guy because everybody used him. And it makes sense why everybody used him, because when he's this strong, why wouldn't you? My damn pride is why I didn't. So when you hold D, you go into this aiming mode. You can... I thought you could dash. I thought you could dash input out of this, but I guess not. Once you're aimed at somebody, you can spam up to 4 times, it looks like. 5 times. I thought you could hit grounded with this, but maybe I'm wrong. And then in the air, you can get a bunch of shots in as well. Okay, they don't hit them when they're rising. Desperado gimmick is being able to shoot and dash around, becomes a melee hero and out of bullets. I could see that. Is there a hold D dasher? Oh, I remember the hold D dash. The hold D dasher hits grounded, right? It doesn't do a lot, but still, it's a grounded option. There you go. It also sends you pretty far. Get a reload in. Like all ranged characters, or most ranged characters, you can hold guard to reload early. Gonna lower the music just a smidge. Let's see. Combo would be dash plus D. Hold into bullet shots. Did that faint? Wait, what was that? What the fuck? That fainted, bro. Huh. Dash D. Oh, wait. Wait. Is that what you mean? You get a fate and then you get your shots in? Damn, and then you could probably just get your weapon skill while they're rising back up. Nice. Maybe even like bam, bam. Then 1, 2, 3, 4 weapon skill. Oh, I thought the weapon skill would retain the aim. Maybe not. I mean, dude, this is a strong character right here. Easy A, probably even deserves S. And we haven't even gotten into the skills yet, so onto the skills. Trinket, I think we could ignore. It's a grab that hard stuns them and they run around and explode. It's an inspiration from Dante from Devil May Cry. I definitely see it. Dante, if you're a Limbus player. I believe this did not work on NA, but if memory serves, it should hit grounded. Like most grabs like this, yeah. That would be a cool skill if it worked. Helmet skill, I think you jump back and aim a bunch of shots. Yeah, dude, I loved this skill, actually. Hang on, so what's the play here? Like, bam. Oh, how's that ammo? Like, bam, bam. You get knocked, like, they get knocked back far enough that doesn't hit a bunch, but it still feels good. You can use it in the air, by the way. Yep. Dude, that's a nice skill right there. And that how many times does it hit? If I actually aimed right, we'd find out. Damn, dude, that's like Strider armor skill. Minus the ripping tears into the ground aspect of it, but anyway. Weapon skill will track enemy once you aim it at them. Oh, it has like homing aspects to it, right? Oh, and it looks like you can do a dash input after each shot. Oh my god, why did I not play Desperado? This is like Card Magician. I hated fighting them so much, so I just never wanted to learn the character. I wish I had, because I love attacks like this. I love these kind of jumpers. Okay, let's see. Armor skill. So when you're on the ground, it does fainting shots all around you. They guard break. It is pretty fucking strong. But not just that, bro. It has an airborne use that will re-stand them and feint them in the air. And the fact that it hits ground, it just makes it all the stronger. Crazy. And then we saw weapon skill already, but those will home in and guard break if you actually aim. You can't dash while doing this, right? No. Okay. Let's see here. As I said, its gimmick is shooting an enemy at an angle, and you can circle enemies while dash-shotting. Whew, that's an S, bro. And it's a I wish I played more, but we'll leave it an S. Okay, up next is gonna be... Is it another premium? Who's after this? Oh, yeah, Nakaruru. We got Nakaruru. I never bought her. I wish I did. I guess we can pull up Takiya's video. Oh, they have it backwards. Whoops. For aura purposes, you can use skills after shooting enemies from the air. Hang on. I think I know what you mean. Let me try that. We've already graded him. He's already cool enough. All right, bro? So you mean something like... Yeah. I think that's what you mean. Yep. You can jump out of that? You can jump? Oh, and he also has a ranged character with a run and a double jump. Insane. Huh. Dude. I really... Okay, no, he does deserve to go up there. I wish I played him more. Hang on. Last minute correction. Desperado? Wish I played him more. Okay, Nakaruru. We can briefly pull up a video. Takuyasugi. The only thing I really remember about her is that you... Not the wrestler. Lost Saga Takuyasugi. You could fly on your bird. That's all I remember. You grab it onto the legs, and then you could do some stabs that maybe fainted. Oops. Nakoruru. You know what? He has a 6-minute video here. Let's check this out. Takuya? Where's your audio, bro? Okay, let's see. Right, you had like a mid-air grab that I do think worked on NA. It worked kind of like Lucy, I think.
Just try and be confusing with that and be cheesy with it because that will get you wins. So another thing with Nakaruru is...
I really regret not buying this character because my... what's the character with the sword and shield and the wings? Valkyrie? My Valkyrie, I like the idea of her being a druid and having a bird familiar. And this is exactly that. I could have just made her this. But I didn't have the character, so I didn't buy the character, so. I don't remember you having tornadoes. Not a whole lot of characters, or not a whole lot of people had this on NA. Hero has good damage, but on its own, kind of sucks and predictable. Still cool, though. I think still cool, no matter what. All right. I'm thinking we're going to do a handful more characters, by the way. You say you like to buy these heroes, but will you actually use all of them? You know what? Yes. Just not main, okay? I can use a character when I want to have fun with that character. But when I'm playing seriously, I'm going to Destroyer. This is what I meant about flying on your bird, by the way. That looks really silly. But, I mean, if it has good damage, man, then it has good damage. Sure. Nakoruru. Armor skill was really cool. You do, like, 3 hits in a row that hard stun over and over again. The rest of the skills, I could not tell you. We can briefly take a look over here, though. Oh, whoops. Go back to the Lost Saga OST. Grab the target and kick repeatedly. It's a grab. It didn't work on NA, but it's a ribbon that looks nice on certain characters. The trinket. Rise into the air and repeatedly strike the target. It's a ground recovery. And the weapon, I just don't remember. Nakaruru bird is so fucking loud, it's like an American is talking to me. Excuse me? You got something to say, pal? Cranks the mic up all the way now. Alright, Nakaruru, I'm sorry. The best I can give you is an A. Maybe even a B, but the best I can give you is an A, Nakaruru. Okay, next character. Oh, wait, we're here already? I'm not ready. Hang on. Oh, shit. I'm not ready. That's my main, bro. Dude, should we call it here and then I pick up next time? The eagle screech is screaming freedom and it's bleeding my ears. God bless that eagle. And God bless this United States of America. Anyway, this is my main. I don't know if I'm ready to go over Destroyer tonight. We've already been going for nearly 2 hours. I mean, I could. And then we got some other characters that oh, dude, we're hitting the good part of Lost Saga here. My era of Lost Saga. You know what? Fuck it. We'll do it. This is my main, and this will probably be the last one we do tonight. Let me just think. Risk of Rain OST. Not 2. I want Risk of Rain 1. Give me the stage 1 theme. Here we go. Okay, if that gets too loud, let me know. We're doing my favorite fucking character in the entire game. This one character alone is what got me to play the game for all the years that I did. So, let me briefly give you my history with Lost Saga. And in fact, we'll pull up some material for this. Give me just a moment. Whoops. OG Planet. We made USA. Z8 Games. Alright, this isn't that important, but I'm going to give you a history lesson here. OG Planet was a publisher of free-to-play MMORPG games. They had games like Latale, Rumble Fighter, and most importantly in this case, Lost Saga. When I was in high school, like 9th or 10th grade, I saw Ragna and Hazama advertised for Lost Saga. At the time, I was a big BlazBlue fan, even though I was just a button masher. I thought BlazBlue was one of the coolest things ever. So I downloaded the game, I bought them. I still remember because I got some Ultimate Game cards just to buy Ragna and Hazama. If you remember Ultimate Game cards. Probably not if you're not from America, but this is how we used to cash for games back in the day. Facebook games, MySpace games, RuneScape, Perfect World, MapleStory, Guns the Duel, etc. I'm pretty sure one of these even says Rumble Fighter. Anyway. OG Planet is where Lost Saga started. It closed down in my last year of high school. I want to say in 2012 or 2013. And then We Made USA took over. Okay, well, We Made USA Games. And the North American division of South Korean game developer and publisher We Made. There we go. That's what I meant to pull up. They picked up Lost Saga, and when I lost everything after OG Planet ended, I was done with the game. I did try it out when We Made took over, but I didn't have my characters anymore, right? So I only played for a week, and then I uninstalled. I was done with Lost Saga. Then, later that year, yes, you heard me right, We Made USA Lost Saga only lasted about 8 months maximum, I think. And Z8 Games took over. I've already said this, but Z8 Games took over like around November or December. And I saw that if you logged in on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, I think it was Christmas Eve, you would get a hero package. And a hero package is a big deal, or at least it used to be a big deal, because a hero pack gives you... You can pick any normal character, and you can pick any hairstyle, you can pick either of the two genders, you can pick any hair color. You can get a permanent hero and customize them in one go, right? So when I saw that they were just giving away a hero package for logging in on Christmas Eve, I downloaded the game again, and you know what I did? I opened up my hero package. I hadn't played the game in months. I didn't know how to feel about the game at that point anyway. And I picked what would eventually become, what would immediately become my main even. I picked what was one of the most recent added character, or one of the most recent added characters. Meet Sheila, my destroyer. Hang on. Sheila. Let me see if I can find a drawing here. Here's my Destroyer. Here's her in... This is a drawing I did a long time ago. She was only level 64 at the time. Powered armor, default helmet, default weapon, powered trinket. Here's my YouTube banner, actually. This is still my YouTube banner to this day. I haven't changed it yet. You can see what she looked like with her gear design there and an actual drawing on the left. And here's another Sheila. I don't remember why she looks angry here. Oh, no, she doesn't look angry. She can't look angry, actually. Okay, there we go. Either way, suffice to say, I was never the same again after picking this character. Now let's begin. This is Destroyer, a ranged character, but possibly one of the most mobile characters in the game still to this day. I will give you the full rundown from a Destroyer main. Starting now. Alright. Oh, I didn't even show you the portraits, actually. Silly me. I started yapping. Here's male Destroyer. Here's female Destroyer. They buffed Destroyer. They're psychopaths. Thank you. And as you saw earlier, here's my Destroyer, Sheila. Okay. So your weapon is this laser gun and shield. Even though you have a shield, you don't have infinite block. But as a ranged, you have a dash, or you have a run. I mean, you're technically flying, but it's a run and not a little like mini hop dash thing, right? Like a cowboy. You don't have a super jump on this character, but more on that later. 3-hit basics. Third hit will knock back. You have 2 jump attacks. They'll arc downwards and they will hit grounded. And you have a dasher. Right? Okay, I'm just going to go into it. You have a 100-meter passive right here. When you hold D, you will enter flight mode. While in flight mode, you will constantly be burning your passive meter. And we're about to run out of it any second now. There we go. While you are running or attacking, your meter or jumping, your meter will not fill. Your meter only charges when you're standing still or walking. Right? Here's the thing. While you're in flight mode, you get a targeting reticule. And you will lock in onto a target. If you hit them twice, you will get a full feint off of them. So each shot is a half feint. That's very easy to do, right? But, I mean, you lose your meter so fast. Oh, and one other bonus thing that I cannot show off because there's nobody to attack me in the air here. While you are moving, you actually have a guard frame in front of you. So think of like a guard point on Monster Hunter if you're a Charge Blade main. So you can actually fly through certain attacks as long as they're not guard breakers. Insane, I know. Insane. But that's not it. That's not even close to being it. There is one other attack while you're in flight mode, by the way, a charge. That if you hit with it will inflict fire, or if it knocks them down, it will inflict what's basically fire debuff and keeps them on the ground a little bit longer. Okay? Are we on the same page here? Buckle up. Alright? You can jump cancel the flight mode, and it will use minimal meter. Meaning, you can stay in the air for a very long time. And you can pepper people if you see you get a hit. Be annoying, fly behind them. And I still have meter to burn, bro. I think it's finally going to run out here where I'm under 25. And there you go. Dude, this just feels so good. If you time your jump cancel, if you don't time your jump cancel right, you're just going to kind of like hop in place. But if you time your jump cancel right, you'll get a lot of movement without burning just a handful, a tiny bit of meter. This feels so good. I don't know how to describe it to you, but like I could close my eyes. You could take my arms away, and I would still remember what synapses need to fire for me to remember, for me to input this. This is so fun. They buffed the air attack, so you can follow it up with an ancient orb hit to enemy. Holy shit, why would they do that? That's crazy. So you can go that into Ancient Spirit Trinket? Oh my god. I will try that out momentarily. That's about it. You can get your 3 hits. You can get some jump hits there too. But what your main goal was... Oh, whoops. Was to... when you swap, you lose all your meter, by the way. Was to just be annoying. People hated me on the NA server for good reason. Well, one, I was an asshole most of the time. And 2, like, this is annoying to deal with, because then you get fainted. I could then charge shot you. Oh, hang on, I'm scrubbing it up here. I think you get what I'm going for. We'll get the feint, get the charge shot, and then while they're charge shot, I could hit them a couple of times. I think like max 5. I missed one of my shots in there, but I think I could have gotten a 5th hit in. I stacked over 200 damage on this character, so I would chunk people. I don't know if her scaling is that good, but I mean, it didn't matter, because I did that. Decent bit of movement speed, a little bit of dex, and all the rest into attack. Hitting an enemy twice with it lifts the enemy a bit, just enough to follow up with it. Really? Huh. Specifically twice? Oh, I totally see that. I'll try out the thing with the Ancient Spirit Orb in just a second. Let me think. That's honestly, like, it feels weird saying that's it, but, dude, like, this in a team fight, absolute menace. They eventually added a character that just completely nullifies airborne units like this, airborne characters, called Patriot. We won't be getting to that for another stream or two. But this right here, like, I've had dreams about the way it feels to play this character. It just got so ingrained in me. She was my highest level character in like the mid-80s, I believe, by the time the game closed down. My close second and third was a level 80 medic and a level 80 R medic, and then a level 70-some fencer. This is one of my favorite characters ever, and I miss her dearly. Design-wise, pretty nice, by the way. Feel like an homage to Gundam with the legs there. Patriot exists because devs don't want to bother nerfing Surfer. Just nerf that bitch into the ground. I hated Surfer, dog. Surfer was annoying as hell. Like, if you think I'm annoying, just wait till you see Surfer or, like, Alice. That'll probably be next time, though. Let's see. Moving on to skills from left to right. We have Illusion Arrow, your trinket. You get a targeting reticule eventually, or if you press attack. It should let go eventually, yeah. You will fire out a guard-breaking arrow. It inflicts that same kind of fire debuff that makes them stay on the ground longer. You can use it airborne, as I showed off there. Helmet, it does decent knockback, it looks like. Helmet skill was one of my favorite skills in the game. You summon a bunch of drones, and they will home in and do a guard-breaking shot on enemies. And I think if only 2 hit, it's a feint. Yeah, that feints, but if more than those 2 hit, then, well, obviously he's going to die, right? Well, not die, but get knocked to the ground. So this is one of the rare cases where I rocked the default helmet for a long time. Eventually, I would rock the Galaxy... Eventually, when I hit like the higher ranks in the later stages of the game, I went Galaxy Robe, D'Artagnan helmet, Ancient Spirit Trinket. But back in the day, it was as you saw earlier. Is this my banner? Yeah, so you can see powered armor, default helmet, and powered trinket. That's how I used her for the longest time, and it was so fun. Good thing they recently crippled both heroes, so people are able to fly whenever. They nerfed Patriot? They also buffed the weapon skill, so it knocks back like crazy when block. On Destroyer, well, onto the rest of the skills first and foremost. The armor is nothing to write home about. You drop down a panel, it'll shoot out guard-breaking, electrifying shots. You can, like, if it's close enough, you might be able to keep them in gay baby jail for a little while. Nah, it doesn't fire fast enough to really keep up with it. Not much to write home about that. Oh, the helmet will hit grounded. Well, I guess in that case, they took a little longer to shoot than I remember them being. But as you saw there, I tried to shoot him while he was on the ground. And lastly, weapon skill. You go into this stance, you mash the attack key, and then you hit up to 22 times, I think. Here's the thing. You need 2 attack keys bound to get the most out of this. I'm going to mash with just 1 finger. Or I'm gonna master with just one key, and that was 12. I think you can hit like 16 to 20 times if you have 2 attack keys, because you'll just mash them back and forth. There's 13. I want to say 16 was it, actually. Let's see. Hang on, let me get this box out of my way. All right. $14. Come on, can I get like a 16? 13. Well, that's not a 25 combo. Ah! Okay, I've lost my touch clearly, and you do need a set keybound. Okay, 13 to 16 I want to say was probably the max. Okay, so all that. Oh, and one more thing. There is one more thing I wanted to mention. This character had an infinite. So you could, in fact, I remember this infinite. There was an infinite that used meter. I knew this infinite, and I would do it on specific people that deserved it. Don't worry, I wouldn't bust this out on good company. I would only do this on... well, let's, if I don't have anything nice to say about someone, I shouldn't say it. People that deserved it is all I'll say. That counted as an infinite for a while. I'm in the bait? Wait, was that you? Well, why are you inviting me, bro? I lag. Everyone has the lag kick ticked on, so I can't even play with people if I wanted to. Otherwise, I would. Either way, so this was the infinite. With 200 plus attack on this character, you would deal some gnarly damage. There was one other infinite that required specific jump shot timing. It was something like this. I never actually learned it. Wait, was that you who invited me? Either way, here we go. Alright, so I already have all of the gear that I used to have on this character. We're looking for... Destroy wouldn't work on the current ladder system. How so? We didn't play ladder on NA. If we did, people were just sweaty, try-hard dickheads and gross. Hang on, where's D'Artagnan helmet? D'Artagnan helmet. Is this already gear designed? No, I haven't gear designed that yet. I need to. D'Artagnan helmet, ancient spirit trinket. I like this favoriting system, by the way. I haven't gotten around to doing it yet. Whoops. Some people rocked wings on Destroyer. I never got the feel for it. But no shade. To each their own. This is what my... Although I had a specific, like, 2014 variant of the Galaxy robe. It looked much nicer. It looked kind of more like a suit. But this lets me warp whenever I want. It's even a ground recovery. It charges way, way, way slower now than it used to. An Ancient Spirit Trinket here used to charge up to 99. Now it's only 66. So I wanted to try that out. You're saying that if I hit with 2 jump shots... Do I have to be really low to the ground for it? Because I'm way too high up for that. I gotta be really close to the ground. That's kind of rough. This is like one of the strongest trinkets and one of the strongest helmets in the game, by the way. I guess D'Artagnan helmet has been nerfed into the dirt, though. Let me reset his health bar here. That didn't look like it lifted that time. Weird. Maybe he's already, like, in recovery status, so it doesn't work. To tech, I saw some users I meet do, so yeah, I don't play Destroyer. No problem. Maybe if I aimed that, I'm not sure. Either way, that is some interesting tech. I kind of want, as a Destroyer main, I was interested, right? Obviously. Either way, here's my main. I had some costumes over what she would normally wear once I wore the meta stuff, but I don't really have anything. I mean, I guess that looks nice, sure. Do I have anything for hat slots? Sure. I would actually... This goes without saying, right? I'm pretty sure you know what this is going to be graded. In fact, I think we need one more. Oh, whoops. I think we need one more category. Main. My beloved. Alright, I think we'll end it there. Like, I played this game for a good chunk of my life, and for a while there, I missed it very dearly, and I still do very much miss it, because there's nothing quite like it out there. Rumble Fighter ain't the same. People were saying Divine Knockout was kind of like it, but that ain't the same either. If this game came back, I would play it again, and if just for Destroyer. I'm gonna give Destroyer the benefit of a doubt that she is the only robot that feels like a waifu. Good for you, being able to move on. Me, after 3 different publishers, 7 private servers, I still play this game after all these years, just because there is no game like this. Exactly! And it's not even that I moved on, dude. Like, if Papaya Play actually... That was the company that was going to bring the game back a couple years ago. If they actually brought it back, I would still be playing the fuck out of it. I mean, I do have an account here on the Indonesian server, right? But as I've showcased by now, I don't have a lag. I don't have a connection that lets me really play with people. Because it would be laggy for me, and it would be laggy for them. It wouldn't be fun. If it came back, I would still play it, but, I mean, it's been long enough that, you know, I don't think about it lately as much as I did back then. Anyway. Best character in the game. She gets her own in fact, she gets her own category. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your night. The best outer connection we have is from Hong Kong. Were there any other... well, I don't play private servers either, just because I know the people that run some of them, and they're not good people. I don't trust them. I wouldn't trust them with my information either, so I've never played any of the private servers. So the closest I've ever gotten is here on, what is it, Lost Saga Origin? Just to gear design, just to reminisce a little bit, much like we're doing right now, even. Okay, my voice is killing me. God, I love her so much, dude. Legitimately. This is also one of my favorite drawings I've ever done. I'm quite proud of it. I was like, what, 2016, I think? Damn, that was 10 years ago, dude. Crazy. Alright, I think I might yap about Destroyer again next time, but I think that's a great place to end it. Anywhere outside of Asia, the attack will not connect. Damn. So that's what you meant. Well, have a great rest of your night. I may be back with a bonus stream again later. I've been doing a lot of those bonus streams lately. Prismia's not around to hang out, so I don't have much else to do. Maybe I'll come back with some Risk of Rain. I'll be back tomorrow to hang out with Matt. Normally on Fridays, I join my friend Prismia on his channel, but currently Prismia is on vacation. So, on my channel, me and Matt will be hanging out. Here's Teo Loser, my friend Matt. And I'll be joining him tomorrow for some Spelunky 2, maybe some fighting games as well. Hope to see you there, and if I come back in a little bit, it'll be a bonus stream of, I don't know, Risk of Rain or something. Have a great rest of your night. Bye-bye. Dude, we're barely on Hero 120. I guess I'm making progress. Or not even 120, dude. I don't even know what... There's so much to go. I'm having fun, though. That's all that matters.